Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, back, or for the first time, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. If it's the first time, this is crazy.
Wow.
To Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. That's Sir Michael Jenks over there. I'm Mark the Mark. You can't see us, but we're here together, and we're
John Cena.
Matt.
We are wearing the same hat. Surprisingly. I don't know how we pulled that off, but it happened.
It does. Jenksy, this is not fat guy weather.
No,
This is
God,
disgusting.
no. I'm sweating sitting in front of an air conditioner that's blowing at my legs right now. That's how bad this is up here. And to those that may live in the South that are saying, 90 degrees is nothing, whatever. Boys, girls,
Children of all ages.
those that don't identify as anything, listen, it is balls hot for fat people up here in this part of Pennsylvania. We don't get it this often, and I shouldn't be dripping right now while I'm sitting here.
I have a cold Miller Lite. Shout out to Miller Lite because I'm still cleaning out the fridge. But I have a cold Miller Lite, and I've had two prior to recording. It's just sweating out of me. Air conditioner's going 90 miles per whatever the hell they do, and it's just blowing in this house, and you can't. I didn't want to cut the grass all week. I was hoping the sun would burn the grass. In and out of houses all week, which they're like, it's not a physical job. No shit, it's not a physical job because I did water meters all week.
Right.
But you're in somebody's house for half an hour, and it's like 50 in there. They have it nice and cool, and you're like, oh man, this is awesome. As soon as you walk out and it feels like 120, it feels like your balls just got ripped off. It's been horrible.
So bad. Like, I don't even know how you fucking did it all week, to be honest. It's just been bad.
I passed it. It's not, like I said, it's not physical what I'm doing right now at work. But I was drained more than throwing garbage. I've thrown garbage in this before, and you're acclimated, is that the word? You just know you're outside the whole time. Take care of your shit. It's kind of easier job that you're in and out. I need to, if it's going to be another week like this next week, I need to do something because just not feeling, hey, you put your logo up in the back.
I was tired of looking at the shit on the bed behind me. But seriously, it's fucking, next week I think it's supposed to cool down, and there's supposed to be rain. So praise to God for that, because this is not good weather. Like, it's just not doing well.
Yeah, our fans in Texas and Florida and like Alabama, Louisiana, I don't know how you guys deal with this stuff all the time. This is why I never say I want to move that far down. Because I don't know. Unless I lose 100 pounds, I'm not 100 pounds. I'd be soaking wet. But I don't know if I could ever do it. My body's not made for this heat.
Even if I lost 100, I could afford to lose more than that too. But even if I lost that, I would never do it. Also, Arizona, fucking dry heat, 120. If you're fans from there, guys, I don't know. Like, I heard horror stories from that this week, and I'm like, maybe I'll take 90 and be fine with it and just shut up my mouth, because that just sounds horrific in its own right.
You just this is Ask Can Crushers, and we will get to it. But we have a question for you. Arizona, Texas, those ones that we named. Do you literally just stay inside all summer? We haven't had this in, oh my God, forever that I remember, but
Yeah.
do you guys just stay inside, or do you just stay in the pool? Because I was running across the street to get into the house after work because I'm like, I am done. I just want to be in my cool house. That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't yelling at the dogs, Miggy and Max, hurry up. Hyper shit, hyper piss, get out of here. And they've been dealing with it. We couldn't get them in for a haircut in the last couple of weeks because she's so busy. It's next week that they get to go in. So at least.
Yeah, I'll say this, Bailey, she's in and out. She wants to walk. God bless her, every fucking day at 4:30, and I'm like, dude, it is 90 fucking degrees. You're black. It's hot out. She does not care. It's whine and just yelp at me until she gets to go out there. Like, I'll put her out in the back, let her do her business, but she just wants to go for the walk and that. So it's been kind of, okay, you stay on the grass, walk up and down the block. So I'm dying from that. Then I got Johnny Small Pants over here, Charlie, that's freaking, he's 7 pounds soaking wet, and this guy loves standing out there in the heat, and he will park his ass. The one day he laid down in the middle of the driveway, and I'm like, bro. And I said bro because I had to, because I'm like, come, we've got to go inside. And he's like, no, I'm good. So he's soaking up any sunlight he can get in that. So these two dogs are something else over here, for sure.
JSP. Johnny Small Pants.
Johnny Small Pants.
Other than the miserable heat and everything, how was your week?
Week was good. Had a birthday party last week. This week, just getting through some stuff at work. Hopefully some things turn out to my benefit at work and work out for me. We'll see if that actually happens here. More to come on that. But yeah, this week I ended up taking Johnny Small Pants to a vet appointment this week so he could get some shots in that. And he lucked out because he got a pup cup afterwards. So he was living his best life on Wednesday with that. But that's kind of been my week. It's just been, all right, cool down, hope for the best, and move forward. Want a trivia again, but that's just a humble brag at this point. Just saying.
You guys are
do it every week.
Yeah.
But I mean, it got so bad that Moochie created a title for us.
Of course.
I didn't send you this picture. I'll send it to you here in a minute. But he basically took his son's title belt, WWE title belt, and then fluffed it up, put Plymouth Tuesday Night Trivia on it, champions, just dressed it up. Dom was not happy about it, but I don't blame him.
Stealing his shit.
Exactly. I don't blame him for that.
They're like $20 at Walmart. Go buy one. Cheap one.
Well, and I said to him, I got a universal one over here that I have no use for. Like, I'm not defending the title against myself and a ghost, right? So I'm like, do you want to use mine from now on? And he's like, no, don't worry about it. I'll just use Dom's. I'm like, come on, guy. But I digress. Anyways, how was your week going in and out of air conditioning and that?
That was that. Thursday night, the doggos also got pseudo pup cup. Well, they got the whole kit and caboodle. It was Carnival Week down here, so I had yesterday off, by the way, because I have to work. More on that here in a second. I have to work Saturday, twice, in fact. But
we're so happy about that.
Get back to that, yeah. Get back to the doggos. So Thursday nights is always fireworks, okay? So they start around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and Max thinks he is ready to take on the world when he hears the booms and the bangs. So I don't need to be listening to that. And Miggy turns into a shit factory. And I don't need that because he's so scared. So about 9:15, load him up, throw him in the Jeep, and we're off to Dairy Queen. And they had dairy. We sat, I went and ordered, and then they sat in the Jeep all nice with the air conditioning on before anybody comes at me. Get in there, give them both their dilly bars. They're rocking and rolling. They're ready to go. Then we head home. and I get a text from Junior saying they started late. Awesome. We get halfway home, I can actually see them, booming and banging, at least like the glare of them. Pull over to the side of the road so somebody doesn't shit himself in the Jeep.
Right.
And once I don't see any more booms and bangs, we head home. They didn't know. They just thought they were going to Dairy Queen. So we didn't have a fight. We didn't have any poop.
That's a good thing.
On to today, as you guys are listening. Again, the carnival's in town, so every day this week we have to go down early, pick up all the carnival lot, clean up in barrels and this, that, and the other thing is the garbage man side of it. And since I had yesterday off being Friday, because of hours, I said, whatever. They're like, you come in and do garbage on Saturday? Yep, I'll do it. I'm fine and dandy with it. It's a couple hours. It's nothing, no big deal. Thank you, Charlie and Bailey. But then I also got volunteered because last day of the carnival, we also have a parade in town. And a couple weeks ago, we got a new leaf truck that we need to show off in the parade. And guess who gets to drive the mile in the parade? I did take it for a voyage the other day because there's a text message from you.
Yeah.
Because that's actually pretty fucking awesome. It's stupid that he's holding it.
I got a story about that shirt afterwards. We'll get to that later.
But it's the first vehicle I've ever driven on the right. Because a leaf truck, you pick up stuff on the right. Kind of weird right off the bat. Kind of weird.
Okay.
So, if you're going to be in Ridgeway on Saturday, I'll be throwing out dum-dums in a big yellow leaf truck.
As you're driving?
As I'm driving.
Ah, okay.
It's an automatic. It's not a standard. I'm not going to have the sucker on and I'm like sucking kids up. Actually, you know what I should do? This just came to my head. I should stay close enough behind whatever float or whatever is in front of me, turn the leaf sucker on, and get all the candy that the kids don't get, because nothing has been in the back of this truck yet.
And shoot it back at them.
No, I was thinking bringing it home, but shoot it back at them.
Yeah, cannon that shit out. Yeah.
Bring it all back to me.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either.
No. This stupid fucking picture of Moochie is going to be on our thumbnail this week, by the way. That's why you have this tard on the thumbnail this week, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead. Explain about this shirt that everybody is now going to see.
Yeah, well, so this shirt, so Mark, I don't know if you can see it, but on this shirt there's like flamingos.
I do. I blew it up.
Yeah, there's flamingos, there's a peace sign with, for some reason, like lines around it. And there's pineapples, drinks and pineapples on it, and bananas. But a lot of the pineapples seem to be upside down.
Yeah, they do.
Now,
the piece is upside down. Like, everything on this shirt is upside down.
Yeah. Mark, what? Now, do you know what upside down pineapple means?
If you're into it, good. You're into it. It's your way of life.
Yep.
We won't shade you at all.
Absolutely.
But it's a swinger.
It's a swinger sign, that I'm a swinger too, we're open for this, right?
Right.
Daniel did not know that. And we were also given the knowledge that he's worn this shirt to work before. And to put that in perspective, apparently on his work ID badge, it's in this work ID badge picture.
Oh, that's even better.
He didn't believe us. He did not believe us during this time that we informed him during Thursday Night Trivia. Come to find out, he goes home. Tells his wife, Googles it. Don't you know on eBay, this shirt's going for $5 as a swingers shirt on fucking eBay.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we haven't seen Dan in 2 weeks. He hasn't come back to trivia since this title incident. So yeah. Fantastic. Dan's been, just, keeping a low profile after that, unfortunate miscommunication of his lifestyle, which, just going to put it out there for you all, he is not a swinger. Neither of them are. But, yeah, he did not know better.
It's fitting, though.
It is fitting. I mean,
really is fitting.
It works for him. But yeah, so he made a title belt out of his son's championship to bring the trivia in that. So,
well done, Dan Mucci. Well done.
That's why we love him. Anyways,
there's hot topics, but they kind of coincide with the week. So I don't know if we need to go down that path. Maybe non-wrestling hot topics. Do we want to do that? Anything like that?
I mean, we can, yeah. I mean, the biggest one I think right now is not a hot topic, but it's more of rest in peace, Willie Mays. I think should be the big thing we should say here. Willie Mays, 93, I think he was.
Believe so.
Passed away this week. Not this year. Well, obviously this year, but this week.
Year.
If you don't know who Willie Mays is, we don't have enough time to explain how great and how much he meant to baseball in general. But former San Francisco Giant legend in that Willie Mays, unbelievable career, and truly sad that he's passed on and passed away here.
The greatest, in my opinion, the greatest photo was ever taken of baseball when he made that over-the-shoulder basket catch. That's just, when I think of baseball, that's one of the first things that pop into my head of everything, of boom, the defensive play of the century, this, that, and the other. It was just an over-the-shoulder basket catch, but it meant so much that that is iconic. In numerous records he has, he's in the 600 club, I believe, home runs.
I believe so, yep.
Yeah, just a player's player, unbelievable. Stayed around baseball after he retired to help usher in so much more. So, yeah. Big passing in baseball.
Big unfortunate passing in baseball.
Did you watch any of the Rickwood game that took place down in Birmingham?
I did not, unfortunately.
I forgot that it was happening. I was hoping maybe you're like, oh my god, yeah, it was so cool. I didn't. I don't have it recorded, but I know it's going to be available on YouTube or something or whatever. I just want to sit down in America's oldest baseball stadium to watch that. I did hear there was some grumblings about how people got tickets, and I think they should have just gave them away to everybody, sold them, gave them away, whatever you want to do, to everybody in Birmingham. But it ended up being tickets were going for astronomical amounts, and I don't know if that's a game that you have to worry about money. I think MLB did it wrong that way.
I would agree with that. I think that's a game where it's all about the history and all about the community of being in baseball at that point. Not a cash grab. It should never become a cash. That and the game in Iowa every year, that should not be a cash grab. That should be literally just for historical purposes, community of baseball. We love the game for being the game. And that's how it should be every year. And with these two games in, it kind of
they do it 3, actually. Because when they go to Williamsport for the Little League.
That's fair, the Williamsport game. I almost forgot about that. But to that point, it shouldn't be a cash grab. It should be something to be celebrated, celebrate baseball, $6 tickets, something like that, just to get people in the door and let them experience it in these historical ballparks that do carry a lot of meaning for baseball.
Yeah. So this week, Jenks, I also, Tuesday, a new DLC came out for the Hunter Call of the Wild. Nepal is where it's at. Oh. The big animal is a Bengal tiger. And you're going to say, oh my God, Mark, you've probably been playing since Tuesday. And I have, Jenks. I thoroughly have been, probably on this map alone, I've have 24 hours or so. I've seen the Bengal tiger once, my fine friend, and it was as soon as I started the game, I didn't know you were thrown right into the mix that you kind of have to get this crazy-ass Bengal tiger to get shit going, okay?
Yeah.
I hear a buck in the distance, not expecting there's going to be a tiger around because I turn the fucking game on and I play. I don't do it. Yeah, nothing. Turn it on, I hear a buck in the distance. I'm like, I'm going to call this son of a bitch in and blow him away. Buck's coming in. I see the buck about 300 yards out. Still not good enough with a gun that, there's people on YouTube and everything shooting shit 500 miles away. I need to feed it and shoot it. All of a sudden, as this buck's close enough, I pull up. I'm ready to do it. I hear, "Roar!" Horrible Bengal tiger, by the way. I'm like, oh shit. So screw the buck now. I'm turning around, leaping off of like a grassy knoll. All I see is fucking Bengal tiger. Respawn about 6 miles away. I'm like, oh shit. I wonder if he's causing havoc in this little village and I'm supposed to worry about him first. Guess what? He's causing havoc in this little village that you are supposed to worry about him first. That's why they drop you in this little village. It apparently watched me the whole time, yada, yada, yada. But they made this board, because I have done now homework, the animals on this board are smarter now. You may not see this tiger, this Bengal tiger, in this village again for a week of, playtime.
Oh, man.
So, now I'm just fucking trudging around still killing shit.
Yeah.
But I don't get any more missions to do until I head back to where I started, sit and wait for this Bengal tiger to make his way back into this little village, and then kill it. And then I get my first mission to go do other Bengal tiger or yak stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's the only Bengal tiger I saw. And, when they come at you, they already instantly put up, "You're dead."
Yeah.
So I saw its face and everything, like, ah! Cool. See you next week. God. See you Wednesday, maybe.
See you, bye. Oh, God. Oh, man.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you think that's bad. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 because got it for free. It was on the store. I was like, all right, let's go. So I started playing this. Get out of the first chapter. You get out of the snow, the mountains, and all this stuff. You set up camp, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to town. There's a little mission in town. I'm going to explore the town. But I also know, because I've watched TikToks, there's a operation in the back of this one doctor's office. I don't even get to that first. I get down the road from the camp, and I help this guy, put a wheel on his wagon, help him out, whatever. I start going a little bit further, and there's just two guys, and one of them yells at me. So I haul off. It wasn't a good one, so being the guy I am, haul off, obviously, pull the trigger. We move on. It's cowboys, right? So now the other guy that's with him is like, oh, he's witnessing a crime. Well, you got to take care of him, too. Then there's a third guy that finds the bodies, and he's going to town. So now I got to track him down. So I'm following him in. You see how this is getting deeper into a hole. I get him. I take him down. Sure enough, there's somebody that saw that, and they're in town now. So now I got a bounty on my head. It's $80. I don't have $80 right now, but okay, fine, whatever. We'll figure this out, right? I'm like, well, I'll go still do, once the heat turns down, I'll go back into town and try to rob this backdoor operation, right? get in there, do everything, do all the steps, get in the back office. I get maybe $60, okay, out of this whole thing. I know there's a safe in the wall. I don't have dynamite to blow this up to get it. But in the meantime, I'm surrounded by cops because, conveniently enough, this doctor's office is right next to a sheriff's office. So now we're just all in the fucking tube at this point. Obviously, I die because I can't shoot my way out of this. I barely know my ass from a hole in the ground at this point in the game, right?
Right. This is all 5 minutes of the game, I'm sure.
This is like maybe 20 in. So I'm like, okay, well, this fucking sucks, but okay, whatever. I get respawn. I get a warning that I have a new bounty on my head. $250. I have 75.
You have to start a new game.
Well, I was like, okay, maybe I can restart the checkpoint where I was at. Nope, fuck you, because there's an explicit for today. It only auto-saves. It doesn't do, like, a quick save, and it's auto-saving the same file over and over again. So you're not getting a linear list. So unless you do the save, you have to start over again. And at this point, I'm like, I'm lazy and I don't want to go back to the winter months again. So I'm just playing now with the $250 bounty on my head. I can still go into a town. Well, I could still go into a town.
Sneak a while, probably.
No, you can just ride in. If the lawman comes up and sees you and identifies you, then you're in trouble, right? Well, I was outside of town. I followed some guy out because the NPCs are very much, they can be smart, they can be nice, they can be rude, whatever. This guy was a little rude. I didn't appreciate it. Took him off right out of town. Somebody saw it, reported it. I got the warning. As soon as I go back to town, they will have increased lawmen around town for me to pick me up. And I'm like, I'm just trying to live my best life as a cowboy here, and I can barely operate within this small town.
So you're 250 in the hole already. So I'm sure as soon as you go back into town, it'll go up or dead again.
I'll probably get dead again unless I can pay it at the mail office that's right on the outskirts of town. I can't do that until I make money. And I don't know how to make money until I sell things or do things, and it's not going well. So,
good.
If we wanted to know what I was like in the Old West, it's not great because I apparently got a hair trigger and I'm ready for just fun and excitement.
My last one, because it only comes off of Red Dead Redemption then 2, by the way. Did you know there's a Oregon Trail for PlayStation 5?
I did hear that it was coming out. I don't know if it's out yet or not. Is it out?
I don't know. I loved Oregon Trail.
So did I
love dying from dysentery.
Dysentery was... no matter what I fucking did, I was dying of dysentery at that point. So...
If it's... Listen, we're down to what, 37 days or something like that? If it's cheap Sunday, I might look into it.
Do you think it's going to be cheap? Because I feel like it's going to be like fucking $60 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was 30?
Well, I would think about it at 30. The DLC for this, I have those days. I can always put, Hunter Call a While behind. It's something just to come back to all the time. Plus, I have a trillion fucking hours on it. This is the only game I've ever done this on.
Yeah.
So I have to continue doing what I'm doing there. Listen, on the 19th, I don't need another game for the rest of the year. I don't know if what the hell are we talking about? Oregon Trail fits right now.
Yeah.
Because it would be a one or done 2 times maybe. Maybe I could get the kid to play. You're going to tell me it's way expensive anyway, so it's going to be
it's a nostalgia trip. I mean, right now on Amazon, it's going for $40.
Yeah. No.
I wouldn't touch it at 40. I wouldn't touch it at 30. I think if it's 20 or lower, or I can get it on game, like the PlayStation Game Plus. Okay,
Let's hope
great.
for that
Let's
in the next
try
couple
it.
months,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. But outside of that, no, thank you. I don't want anything to do with organs.
I don't need dysentery.
I don't need dysentery. You know, if
I'm in summer camp right now.
If I don't do myself right, I get dysentery. Oh, wait a minute now. The PlayStation Store is saying $17.99. And it's until July 4th. What a way to celebrate America by dying of dysentery on the Oregon Trail. Nothing sounds more American than that. I have one more hot topic, non-wrestling related.
We're quickly going to do the bills, like generic.
We're going to do
this, here's that, and then we'll get into the week of wrestling in segment 2, and then answer all your business.
Generic bill paying, but I think this deserves a call out. It's an athletic feat. Have you seen the video of Katie Ledecky swimming with a glass of chocolate milk on her head, not spilling a fucking drop?
Yeah, I have.
How fucking impressive is that?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
She just beat somebody by 20 seconds, beat the whole crew by 20 seconds the other day. Now she's just showing off at this point. I swear, this Olympics seems like a side mission for her.
I can't hold chocolate milk without spilling it. She's swimming miles.
I legit dropped the coffee that I picked up at a Get-Go yesterday. After I paid for it, it fell and went all over the floor, and I called it a day and said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not even replacing the cup of coffee. Told him I made the spill, and I left.
You didn't help clean it up?
I said, can I help you clean it up? You know, can I have a rag or something to clean this up? He goes, no, I'll take care of it. And he starts grabbing napkins. I'm like, it's more than that. And he goes, I'll take care of it. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not coming back for 3 weeks, so good luck. I'm like,
so you're going to a different place to get coffee for a couple weeks?
I come home at lunch because I got to let out the pups. I have Country Fair and Get-Go as options. Get-Go had better coffee, but I guess I'm going to Country Fair right now if I want coffee for midday break.
I know that Co-Fair well. I do like that Co-Fair, by the way.
Yeah.
I lived off of breakfast many times at that Co-Fair.
Yeah, that Co-Fair. Co-Fair does you right.
Or late night.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Either way.
All right. Run the gamut. Guys, check out Collar and Elbow. We have a promo code for you. It's Can Crushers. You'll save 10%. A lot of cool swag there.
Yeah. You can go to a WWE Shop affiliate code. Grab it in the show link. I'm losing my voice. Grab it in the show link. Wow.
Meat and potatoes of the show yet.
I know. We haven't even gotten through the meat and potatoes of this paying the bills. Let me start it over again. WWE Shop. We have an affiliate code with them. It's in the show notes. Go ahead and click that. You may get a discount. You may not. But it helps out the show. So go ahead and click that today.
Don't forget we have our own merch over at CrowdMade. When you're at CrowdMade, type in Can Crushers. You'll see all our merch. I live off of W right now in the mornings. 2 scoops, shake it up, drink it. We have promo code for you there too. It's Can Crushers. It saves 10%. Check them all out.
You can listen to us on every major network that Mark listed off in last week's show. I'm not going to go through that list today, but it's going to include iHeartRadio, Spotify, and many others. Not Google, because Google's done. So listen to us there.
Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, we're there. Make sure you follow us. Join the conversations. A couple people did, as we got a couple last-second questions thrown in. So,
very nice
about that. And don't forget YouTube, that we are there, just audio version.
Yep.
The dogs. Man, the dogs.
You gotta love them. You can get a hold of us, cancrushers69@gmail.com. Send us a lovely email professing your love for us in the show, or just berate us, whatever works for you. We do have a phone line.
We're giving you another month to use it.
Yeah, because we haven't got any calls on it. We didn't get any for Ask Can Crushers. If you don't want to use it, that's fine too. But it's 814-299-6687. Leave us a voicemail, 3 minutes in length. Just not a dissertation. If you can make it happen.
Put you with your shirt.
Yeah. You guys actually get to see Dan Mucci now. Nobody has seen. We've talked about this schmuck since I started the show. Nobody has seen him.
Now you will. The swinger Dan Mucci. When we come back, we'll do a quick wrap of the week in wrestling.
Hey, this is Mariah May, the glamour, but you knew that. And you're listening to Can Crushers.
Welcome back to Can Crushers, folks. It's time to run through this week in wrestling. If you think paying the bills was fast, we could probably do this week. We're not putting a timer on because there is a pay-per-view involved in the week in wrestling. But if there wasn't, Jenks, I think we could just do this week in wrestling in like 5 minutes with 4.5 of it being about something really cool. But
probably, yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. Before we get to that.
Oh, okay. Take over the show.
I just want to ask you one question. I probably could have waited till Ask Can Crushers, but I think it's a valid question because we just talked about video games. Scale of 1 to 10 for WWE 2K24. How excited are you to play as Post Malone?
0. If you'd let me do a negative, probably would be.
If this was on
who else I'm not excited about? All of McAfee's idiots.
I would agree. Pat McAfee is the only person on there I'm excited to play as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not excited at all.
No. I don't blame you. I mean,
Stirring the pot. When was the last time you played Fight Forever? Touche.
I was going to make the joke when you mentioned you played the new DLC. I was going to say Fight Forever. And, yeah.
I could probably... Listen, this is how far it's dropped. And I don't need any space, but I'm saying if there was space needed for college football, see ya.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I don't have it on the PS5. I didn't bring it over to the PS5. I could have. I didn't because I knew I wasn't going to play it. It's sitting on the PS4 right now.
Yeah. Not a DLC there either, by the way.
No, I think... Did I get one? No, I didn't get any of them. So, yeah, I'm strictly base game.
Yeah. So, SmackDown essentially pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Not a lot happened on SmackDown. We are really going to do WWE and AEW. But we will run through the pay-per-view, essentially. Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
We're going to do this backwards. On beers, our 6-pack. By the way, you lost, but we'll get into that. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, it's fine. You just got to dig the knife in, whatever.
Still the reigning defending 6-pack champion, this guy. On a scale of beers, what do you give this? Yeah, I'm in the same spot.
I'm at 3 to 4, maybe.
I was going 3 to 3.5.
Well, 4 is generous, but 3 is like the heavy-handed right now. I mean, after Cody and AJ, just kind of the ending of Cody and AJ it pissed me off too, and it killed it for me. And then I think after that, it picked up a little bit for Sammy and Chad, and then it was okay for Drew and Damian. Punk popped me for that.
Right. Two things I went off for, and we'll break them down. But I love that once Sammy won, I regained title, kept it. Punk coming out, awesome. Mm-hmm. Probably in storyline wise, my favorite part of the night.
Right.
They did that, I think, perfectly right. And Unholy Union winning the title. Go ahead.
I was shocked that they won the titles. We picked them.
We did.
I was shocked they won them.
The way they did.
I was totally shocked. Happy about it, but I was totally shocked by it. Bailey did not agree with it whatsoever, but that's a different story.
Unhappy with it. Unhappy. I'm going to probably be in the minority. I hated the AJ Cody match. Everything.
See, I liked the match. It was the final minute that killed it for me. It killed the entire match for me because
once
AJ,
Mom got involved, it
well,
was over for me.
Mom getting involved, okay, fine. She didn't need to be. There was no reason for Mom to be involved, but she didn't need to be. It was the fact that AJ just gave up because stairs were coming at him.
Yeah.
Really? That's going to be... I get you're handcuffed and there's stairs coming at you. But I will say this, too. I got confused. Because supposedly Cody passed out.
Right?
And doesn't that mean he can't go any further, so that quits?
Isn't that a ref stoppage then? Pseudo everything? If you're in a submission hold and you pass out, the ref has the authority to then do that for your health.
Yeah.
Cody was passed out, air quotes, in the ring of an I Quit match, couldn't answer. So AJ essentially would have tapped him out in a real match. Will been champion, but you have to say I quit in this match? I don't know.
I disagree with it. I just don't. Yeah. It's obvious they manipulated the rules. You do in wrestling to make the story that you want. But to me, that did not tell the story. That didn't make sense to anything going on whatsoever.
No, not at all. This, for me, was probably the worst I Quit match. And I will always, and people are like, Mark, stop. I will always go to Telly Dusty, Telly Magnum for those were I Quit matches. Even the KO Roman one, where he was handcuffed and he had to say I quit or whatever a few years back. That was a quit match, right? That was hokey, but it still did what it needed to. Like, I didn't like it at all.
I don't think there's been a good I Quit match since I think it was Cena JBL in 2005. Because you get limited. You get limited by being in PG. You can't really I Quit and make it believable. I mean, with Cody and AJ, the first half of the match was building towards something. He was bleeding. There was color. It looked like a legitimate I Quit match. But after that pass-out moment, it was very hard for me to believe, A, AJ was winning, B, that this was truly an I Quit match worth watching.
Yeah. First match, okay, I understand they have to keep this separated, and I think the card was laid out good. I do. Mm-hmm. I like the way the card was laid out. I'll actually give WWE props that time. But first 5 minutes into the match, you're backstage.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I'm like, really? First 5 minutes of this fucking match, you're taking it backstage, and I've paid $300 for the monitor? I just didn't like the match. Definitely not going to be on my crushes.
Yeah. That's fair. That is fair.
Next match is the triple threat women's tag match. Unholy Union against Shayna and Zoe against Jade and Bianca. We suspected essentially what was going to happen last week. Mm-hmm. Exactly happened.
Yeah.
The champs were out of the picture because a backdrop, this, that, and the other thing. And I know everybody's saying, you have to talk about something in this match. We will. You picked it dead nuts that it was going to be Shayna that got pinned.
Yeah. I mean,
it still surprised me. As happy as I was, it still surprised me.
To me, after the Lola Vice beat down on NXT background and all that, or battleground, background, whatever, they're trying to build up Zoe to be something bigger than she is. So the fact that Shayna was there solely existing right now to take pins and losses for that team.
Is she, ask Can Crusher so we can ask questions the whole time we want to, is she that legendary that losses are not going to hurt her?
If this was NXT Shayna, yes.
It's not.
it's main roster Shayna that they turned into a vampire as soon as she came on the main roster and hurt.
She's never going to get away from that, is she?
No, 100% not. Even when she turned on Ronda and then beat Ronda in the MMA rules to send her on her merry way, she's never going to live that down because she doesn't do anything outside of that. She's never been women's champion. She's one-time tag team champion, but there's just nothing there. And when you bite somebody in the back of the neck, it's kind of hard to live down.
It really is. I will not shit on Jade for what happened in this match.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the moment was too big for her. I will agree with everybody that's behind the curtain of WWE in the refs. Listen, it was probably like 120 there. I'm gonna live that moment of what they told us and completely agree with it because you've seen it a couple times. That's not her move to do, to jump off the top rope.
No.
To give her that, or if she took that, that's shame on her. But if that was written in there that she had to do it, the ropes, the this, the that, you saw the ref telling AJ as soon as he got into the ring, these ropes are shit. Maybe they didn't tell the girls.
Maybe.
Just throwing that out there. It happens. It happens. The way that she kind of rebounded was okay to get a clothesline or a backdrop off or something. I think she lost her way then because she was trying to get too much.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody's going to say, but she's in AEW, she should be trained. Da, 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 da. She's still a baby in wrestling.
Yeah.
She didn't go through Indies, the PC, back to the Indies, back to PC to a notable company. AEW grabbed her and said, you're Goldberg, you do 2 moves, you win matches. We saw her growing in AEW. She decided, and I'm not saying this mean, but it's stuck in my head, to take her ball to go to WWE. She did stuff in a PC. She does look better. This just wasn't a moment for her. And I'm not shaming her, though. Again, I think it was just not too big, but just something that we'll probably never see her do again, so why do it this one time?
Yeah, I feel like it might have been the adrenaline kick at that point, and maybe they told her backstage, don't use the ropes like that, or told the others, and you get cocky, you get naive out there, and you're feeling the ropes, and you're like, I can still make this work, I can still do what I need to do off of this, so you do it anyways, right? It's one of those things. To your point, she doesn't have thousands of matches under her belt. She has maybe 70, and I think it's under 70 televised.
Yeah.
Right? So, to me, that's not a lot. It's not experience. You're not an experienced fighter at that point. So, for Jade, she probably thought, oh, I can do this. It's fine. The amount of videos or the amount of things that people don't see as I blend into the background, apparently.
Oh, you're gone.
I see that. But the amount of... There's people out there that experience these on an indie scene that it doesn't get seen the light of day, and when they make the big time, nobody knows. I'm sure KO has a litany of them. I'm sure El Generico has a litany of them, of those mistakes, of those things. It happens. It's a learning curve. You can't hold it against her.
No. And I don't think in a year we'll forget that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I really think so, because she'll be at WrestleMania when her and Bianca are stealing the show. We're good.
Yeah.
But congratulations to my girls. Our girls. Yeah. Sammy and Chad Gable get the match of the night for me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. As we trickle to Monday, the QR code was the first thing before any of them came out. If you know, then we'll get to Monday. As soon as we get down to the pay-per-view, that's the first thing we're talking about, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I loved everything about this, actually. I love that Otis full-fledged didn't turn on Chad. He just did the gentleman's thing to take Maxine away.
Yeah.
And you know what it is to me, Jenks? It's the Mega Powers exploding. When Hogan walks Savage, walks
Elizabeth out, yeah.
and Savage just stayed in the ring. That's what I saw right off the bat.
Pseudo, obviously.
Not that they're the mega powers.
Right. That's why I was like, where do we go with this? Yeah.
This is the story we're going to go with a little bit.
They're definitely riding that wave now that you pointed that out. I think it was better. I think it's way better that there's a culmination of things. You know, Maxine goes down because of Chad. Everything is happening to them because of Chad at this point. And when Otis turns, he harbors it, takes everybody out of the equation, gets them out of there, and then we just move forward with the match. That's how it should be.
Right. It was well done.
It was perfectly done. Save the drama for Mondays when we need something on Monday, a meat product to kind of consume on Monday with it. So this was just the secondary story to the Intercontinental title. We've seen in the past the Intercontinental title becomes the second story to a lot of the shenanigans on the outside. So I would agree with you. That was probably the better outcome that they could have done. Not turn on them, but just move it forward. Move the story forward a lot. So,
again, favorite match of the night just because of everything they did. Piper and Bayley, I don't know. There's got to be, and I'm not saying this mean because I love both of them, but if there's one bad match of the night, this one didn't work for me. There wasn't, you know what I loved the most out of this?
Chelsea.
Nacho Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty funny. With the Rey Mysterio mask. Were they keeping that mask?
The Rey Mysterio mask?
I knew. But, yeah, nobody else knew, apparently. But I have a question. Is this mask just laying about? Did she borrow it from Dominic when he stole it from him? What is happening here? That they're just like, oh, we're going to use this mask because it's here, and let's run out with it.
Why not just, like, any masked wrestler's mask? Why can't I not? The one that we interviewed a couple years ago.
The Masked Saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab his. Grab the Thunderfoot, the Ding Dongs, anybody else's mask. It's always got to be Ray's.
But see, I like that piece of it because if you play the games, they always do older SmackDown, like aughts. It was always, there's like some piece of memorabilia you could have. Like I remember in 2007, you could have like Rey Mysterio's masks or Macho Man's, beef stick or, a fucking nightstick from Boss Man, whatever it is, and you have it in your collection. I like this now because they're doing it to put recognizable things in different matches to make it kind of more random. And like Chelsea stole this mask. Now on Monday, I wish they would have followed it up and with Ray like asking her, although she's not on Raw anymore, where's my mask? Why did you take my mask? Or Dominic saying that as well. Because I think that would be kind of hilarious. Be like, we're missing this and whatnot. To kind of keep the continuity going. The match itself, it did what it needed to do. We established Piper was a big threat. And this helps the Nia story go along when SummerSlam comes to fruition in a couple of months. I just don't know. It was just not the best match, but I think Piper shined in this.
I agree.
I think we did their best with what we could.
Nia wins the championship from Bayley from a Samoan drop because Bayley's trying to get that crucifix over again.
Yep.
That was your foreshadowing.
That's a good point because she's trying to get that crucifix done. Yeah, that's fair.
Then we get to the main event. Drew against Priest. By the way, this is an entrance, my friends. The bagpipes, the this, the that, the this is what needed. I watched the entrance a couple times this week. I've always said, listen, I've told everybody that is associated with me in my personal life, I probably rightfully don't deserve them. I want bagpipes at my funeral. One, because I know they're probably expensive to get somebody that can get bagpipe in Ridgeway, fucking Pennsylvania, wherever. I want bagpipes. I think bagpipes are unbelievable. I don't know why I didn't think they were going to do bagpipes. They did bagpipes. Ready? That was my favorite moment of the whole night. Throw the wrestling away, the bagpipes coming out. I'm like, oh my fucking God. We don't need Lala or anybody else singing crap.
Lala?
People. I'm just saying.
Put like Teletubby out in midair?
Randy. Yeah, stop it. But there was a great story in this match. I really did. I really thought Drew was going to win it and give them 2 title changes in Scotland. We both thought Drew was going to win. I thought it was kind of mean that he didn't win. But holy shit, when I saw the red of somebody's sneakers, I instantly knew it was Punk, and I didn't have to wait for him to see his face going to 2. I knew it was Punk sliding in, and I never would have predicted that. I thought he was just a DQ or something, but to be the ref, unfucking believable story.
I was hoping that it was the SummerSlam 97 finish, because I thought that would have been fucking great, cool, whatever. But when he slid in, I knew it was him. 1, 2, Jesus Christ. And he went and he did, I don't know if people picked up on this, I don't know if you picked up on this, but the Easter egg there was, he did it in a similar fashion of that picture where the guy's sitting next to the grave with the peace sign and all of that too, that Drew posted when he got injured. That was chef's kiss on the whole thing. That made the match even more iconic. Not iconic, but you know what I mean. That was a great, iconic level trolling by CM Punk on that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we both give it, let's just round, we both give it 3s for the whole pay-per-view. It did what it needed to in some aspects. It was, hey, you got a pay-per-view, we may be back. I think it's a good place for a pay-per-view.
I think it is too. I kind of think France definitely got the better pay-per-view between Backlash and Clash at the Castle. So I think Scotland kind of got hosed with it a little bit. But
Toronto's next in a couple of weeks, essentially. But it's really not overseas. And I'm not saying it's mean, because Toronto loves us. Toronto's an everyday stop for WWE. Yeah. So Money in the Bank's going to be the whole glitz and the glamour. We're going to get the ring with all the advertisements on the side, yada, yada, yada. So it's an international one, yes, but it's not really international.
No, really you're looking at, I think the international one is going to be, the next one is just Berlin. Like at this point, they're not even, I don't think, to your point, you don't consider Toronto international because it's very easily to access. It's right there. You can fly there. It's whatever. And it's not that far out of the way.
Yeah. If you're in Minnesota, you're probably in Toronto in less time than it would take us to get to Toronto.
I think it's like 2 hours from Buffalo, 2 hours. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's nothing too crazy to get there.
It would take me longer to drive to Buffalo than the airplane it is to get from Buffalo to Toronto.
Yeah.
Honestly.
100%.
All right. So that's a pay-per-view. Listen, there's noteworthy stuff on here, but there is nothing more to talk about than what happened at the end of Raw.
Yeah.
I'm getting chills right now getting ready to talk about it. Unfucking believable. This is why production for WWE is number 1 across all sports. There. Yeah. Come at me, NFL, MLB, and anything else.
Yeah.
All sports, all TV shows, everything. This, what was it, 5 minutes? I don't know. It was a lifetime for me.
It was 5 minutes. It was easily the best segment they produced in years.
Yeah.
And it's not a hyperbole. It's not anything of that nature. It literally picked up a legacy and morphed it into a horror movie, if you will, in a good way.
By the way, the Wyatt Six, meaning they're...
I like that.
Instead of the number 6.
It was 6. Wyatt Sick with 6 on the end of it. Sign me up. I might get the shirt.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, the production, just...
The callback to the door. I didn't know if we were going to get that. And that, I cried.
Yep.
Nikki coming out first.
Nikki crawling out first.
Listen, I love Alexa Bliss. If she's involved in this, it's going to be hard pressed for her to be the number one.
Yeah.
Because Nikki is the Abigail that we've been wanting since the fucking puppets came.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Even before the puppets came. When we were talking about Sister Abigail and what she could be and who she could be, not some swamp figure and not some potential Bray Wyatt and drag looking thing against Finn. This was Sister Abigail as we knew, as we saw her. Abby the Witch, Sister Abigail, whatever you want to call her. This is what everybody envisioned seeing.
Gacy is Huskus. This is next level. This is like The Shining /
Deliverance. There's Deliverance in your, Well, and then we gotta go. First person you see in the backstage area is fucking Rowan with the bludgeon brother hammer for Luke Harper and the words help. And the word help just written on it. That shot me to the moon because I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But then you walk into Gorilla.
And we'll get to the big question that we all have.
We'll get to the question. But fucking Gorilla destroyed, murder scene.
Yeah.
We're not even getting to the hallway yet with Gable. We're in Gorilla. People are beat up.
Going up. Sparks are going off.
Everything sitting on the damn case. I think that was Dexter. I don't know if that was Dexter. That was Dexter.
That was Dexter.
Yeah, because Gacy came after Dexter on the fucking whatever case was in there. Gorilla just destroyed. And I loved, and I know you picked up on this too, and I think everybody did, but I loved this view. They did it. They preempted it earlier in the night and said, this is what Gorilla looks like with the whole Drew thing, walking him right through. An hour, maybe later, 2 hours later, whatever it was, it's destroyed. It's like a tornado came through there.
Yeah. You have Howdy walking, and essentially everybody just lining up behind him as Nikki is still out there. And the shot on the lantern was apropos, perfect, chef's kiss, everything that you needed. And then he grabs it up and he says, we're here, and blows it out. Stop, rewind, watch it again. And I'm like, holy shit. I know there was casualties when I watched it the first time, but I wasn't watching it. The only one that really stood out the first time to me,
Gable, because that's when they showed.
His head was blowing off.
Yeah, his head was bloodied. It looked like he got shot.
Unbelievable. Just the cute. This is something, one of your favorite movies that you just keep watching and you just dive. So let's talk about casualties then, essentially. Gable, we all see.
Yeah.
Are there other ones? Or because they were in the dark enough that you suspect? I've heard, let me give you my list that I've heard. People said Gunther. No fucking way.
I thought the same thing because I heard that too, and I'm like, there's no way they put Gunther in that position.
Seth.
Could buy it.
Right. Carmelo. Listen, might be okay because since it come up, him and LA Knight's shtick isn't really doing anything.
They're beating around the bush at that point.
Braun Strowman was one that I'm like, I don't think, unless, are they dead? That's a question I have for you. Are they?
I don't think they're dead. I think it's.
Well, I don't mean they're not dead.
Well, no. I meant in terms of storyline. I don't think they are. If they're not, it makes it plausible that you have a Gunther in it. They get to him, whatever. Make a statement. However, I don't think they would do that, though.
Right. I don't either. Like, the Gunther one really has me. I'm like, And then the Strowman one, like, he's changed his ways. I know it's wrestling where there's millions of stories we can go with. But I would still feel that they have something for him.
Yeah.
Triple H is supposed to be dead as well.
Bruce Pritchard, apparently taken out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Where do we go? What do we do? I don't care what they do. I'm waiting every week to watch it.
Yep.
But I don't want to see it every week because I want to be biting at the bit for more.
So here's the thing. I'm thinking we're going to see it at least every week for the near future. Because let's go outside of wrestling a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
They've now attacked the Pat McAfee show. On Thursday afternoon, when the show was about getting close to wrapping up, they cut the feed. It ended just point blank. People are tweeting, Orlovsky, no idea. It's like, what the hell just happened on McAfee's show, et cetera, et cetera. Friday they come back, say something blew. People are saying it's a Wyatt sick. No, it's not, whatever. End of the show. Cuts again, and You Lied comes up on the screen in that blue background, old-fashioned tape. We've now transcended WWE programming to promote the Wyatt sick. And if I'm Pat, it's in Indy next week. I'm scared shitless of what they might do to your fucking boys. Yeah, think about that.
The whole, what's the Colt Stadium? Because that's where it's at, right?
Lucas, it's not at the Colts. It's at the arena, whatever the arena is. Yeah.
So it's not Lucas, but still.
It's still in there, and if you don't know where Pat McAfee's show is at, it's in Indy. They have a studio set up in there. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking did something to the studio.
Burn a building down in Indy.
Burn a building down, Boston Connor's injured, and they're selling it for a week straight.
Yeah. I'm all in. This is one that I don't want to, they're going to take out this person, they're going to take out, this is where you'll hear our reactions, or at least mine. I'm not predicting anything of this because this is something I want to live right now.
Yep.
This is where, I'll mark the mark on this one. I really am. I don't want 100%. Any spoilers whatsoever. This, feed me more.
Okay, Ryback. Feed us both more. But also, I want it to be, let's speak. If you're going to come out, let's have promo time with the Wyatt Six for 3, 4, 5 weeks. Because when they did it with Wyatt, they attacked Kane, made a statement. Wyatt was on his soapbox, pushing. Didn't really get physical with it until later on. That it has been the most viewed clip, by the way, of WWE post WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And they had a big arrival on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Some would say you believe in what they've had.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, Joe Hendry showed up on NXT on Tuesday in the Battle Royal. 7.1 million views.
That's crazy.
100% that's crazy.
I love that Joe showed up there, by the way.
I do too. Hate that he got eliminated right away, but I love that he showed up.
Yeah. Listen, we'll fast track the rest of Raw. A lot of qualifiers for Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Seth's back.
I loved it.
I've already told you he's dead. I was shocked.
I was too. 100%. I wasn't expecting Seth back. I was more shocked that Damian willingly gave up a title shot to him.
I know. But it just shows one more thing. The Punk's going to be involved there. And he's not cleared yet.
I don't know. I don't think he gets involved here because he's dealing with Drew. And I think they want the bigger match between Seth and Gunther. So for me, the only reason Drew didn't get the title is because Seth was cleared.
Okay. I didn't even put that together.
Seth, this is my prediction yet, but Seth I feel like might be the transitional champion to Gunther once we get there, because I think that was the end goal all along. I think before Seth got injured, he wasn't going to lose the title. He was supposed to go over, get it to SummerSlam, get it to Gunther, and then been done with it. And now they can kind of write that course again.
And we still get Drew Punk at SummerSlam.
So get Drew Punk at SummerSlam.
What else do you have on WWE version? Because AEW is going to be quick, folks.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's just jump to the AEW right now, because I got nothing I think that's groundbreaking. They did. I will say this came during our show. They posted a trademark for Caesar Sikoa. So start speculating who that's going to be. It should be only one person at this point, but who the hell knows? Right. Caesar, though,
I don't like it.
I hate Caesar on that one, but okay. At least go Deuces at that point. Deuce Sikoa.
Deuce Sikoa. Yeah.
Deuce Sikoa.
AEW was a filler week. It was very chatty. It was building up to the go-home show Wednesday in Buffalo that myself and Mr. Nick Galbo will be at.
You are going. Yeah, that is right. I forgot about that.
Again, I forgot about it until I looked at the schedule about an hour ago as we were started recording. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. Dynamite's this week. I love that they put Roosh and MJF on first and let them fucking do everything and didn't save it for last.
Yeah.
Granted, the main event was also freaking amazing. It was bookended by great matches with a lot of talking.
A lot of talking, but a lot of decent talking, let's be honest here. Yeah. There's a lot of things that push forward. But yeah, Roosh and MJF, fuck. That was a great way to start off the show. Start off the week.
It really was. Swerve and Will, it was good, but I don't think it was enough. You know?
See, I think it was good enough to be enough. I think there's fair enough. I think there's a lot of good lines in there, especially on the kill shot.
Enough with the questions, because we said enough during this thing.
Enough with the questions. I like that. Good enough. It's good enough. See, we got this. But I think it was better than people give it. I do like that Swerve has now put it into a personal thing here with that, because it shows he now knows what buttons to push. And now he has a button to push on Will Ospreay to kind of throw him off his game. And showing Swerve is very much taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. And it's also making me question, is he truly going to lose the title at Forbidden Door? I'm trying to look up the brackets now, because we should talk about the brackets when we get a minute. But what else do you want to talk about when I try to find those real quick?
As you're looking for those, the Mina and Tony signing, listen, the title is secondary in this.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of hinted around it, but the title is clearly secondary. It could go to Bayley. It could go to Kimberly. It could go to anybody. The meat and potatoes of this story now is, what is May doing? Mariah May is who I'm... Yeah. Not May Young or anybody, but yeah.
Where is the allegiance lying for Mariah May at this point? And they're doing a lot. Well, next week good luck with next week because they're doing a lot of, we need to put everybody as partners together and play this off. Because I'll be honest, when Saraya came out, I was
and
like...
Anna's back.
Anna's back with Saraya. I literally looked at my screen and said, that's going to be a rough one. Anna, Saraya, Harley, it doesn't scream
Nothing.
legitimate competition because we haven't seen them.
No.
I think they've been on Rampage, but we just haven't seen them on the main show for so long. So the fact that Anna Jay's just thrown in with the group now, it just feels like it's just discombobulated and they needed 3 women to kind of, with history against Toni Storm.
Very little history, by the way.
Very little. I mean, Saraya has some.
Right.
And that's it. That's the connection point.
I meant as a group.
As a group, they have no history.
Yeah.
Absolutely none.
Yeah, I mean, Acclaim wins a eliminator match, so they have tag team title shot at some point.
Better than it should have been.
Better than it should have been.
I want to jump. Briscoe. I need him to do a 5-minute promo every week now. I'm sorry, him yelling at Jack Perry, get your ass out of here, Jack Perry. I need it on the shirt. I need it on fucking TV every week. Kyle, ultimate hype man.
Yes.
O'Reilly is the ultimate hype. The faces of Kyle O'Reilly. Let's go for it. So, I'm all for that. But
the brackets are announced.
So that the brackets now are Willow versus Serena, Chris versus Nyla, which you guys saw on Wednesday,
right,
which I didn't know was starting Wednesday. Chris beat Nyla. Deonna Purrazzo versus Shida, and Mariah May and Saraya, so they kind of tied that back together a little bit. From the men's side, Claudio and Pac, which you guys saw, the finish of that, we'll get to that. Danielson and Shingo makes sense. Forbidden Door works out perfectly. Ray Fenix and Jay White should be a good match, but they've done Jay dirty, so I don't know what this will look like. Jeff Jarrett in a TBA.
Ooh.
I think it's got to be Swerve or Ospreay. Or, here's my play. Because my play-in came with this. Maybe, let's say Swerve beats Ospreay.
Okay.
Somehow, some way, beats Ospreay. Hangman's your TBA. Hangman wins the Owen Hart tournament. And it's Hangman versus Swerve in your main event at All In London. And
let's fucking go.
Exploding barbed wire death match at this point because they've already done the Texas death match.
When I saw the Double J was in this, emotions hit.
Yeah.
So many different ways. I'm like, man, this could be a throwaway match.
Yeah.
And I would be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they would say, listen, your shit in AEW has been horrible from Chainsaw Massacre match. Let's give you some props here for a second.
Yeah.
Do I truly believe Double J is winning this?
No.
No. Do I want him to? No. Because you're blowing storylines up. If he does, I'm waving a flag, though, for him to...
I think you have to at that point.
Owning the Owen belt one time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm again, dad moment. I just got the feels, but he's in it. I think that's somewhat of a pat on the back because he doesn't need to be in this. He doesn't need to be around a title. He doesn't need to. That title doesn't need to be mentioned with Jeff Jarrett right now.
Yeah, I think if this wasn't for the winner gets a world title shot, and this was just strictly the Owen tournament like it was the past couple years, I think Jeff Jarrett has a legitimate shot to win it.
Right.
Would I be pissed? Absolutely, from the aspect of Jeff Jarrett winning something, not putting over younger talent. but he would understand it because this is Owen Hart. This is his friend, his travel buddy. It was someone that was so close to him as a brother at that point.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about Pac and Claudio because that was such a great match.
Really was.
So fucking good. The ending sequence.
With Brian on commentary again, by the way.
Brian on commentary made it perfect. The ending sequence, the near falls, the pins, and then Claudio gets caught. Have they foreshadowed Claudio and Danielson either at All In or at Wrestle Dream, Danielson's last match as a full-time performer?
I think, yeah. I think when both of their names came up in the bracket, I smelled something of some sort with that. But I think this match, there was a lot of seasoning on it.
Yeah. Yep.
I really believe, yes, that will, because we were wondering, is it going to be for the title? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? No, I think it's just, if you want to call it the BCC blowing up or whatever, I think Claudio's his last guy.
Yeah, I do too, because it just feels like Claudio was just not happy with him joining the Team AEW for Anarchy in Arena. He voiced his concerns there. Claudio looking dejected in the match after losing the Pac, not talking to Danielson. The frustrations there. It's the long game of foreshadowing, which is going to be a beautiful story to kind of tell in here in a couple weeks. Is it Danielson's tournament, though, to steal and win?
Win? I don't know. No. I don't know if it... yes, no, maybe.
He's getting the Pac.
He is.
And I think that he's going to beat Pac because that's going to show up Claudio. And that's going to piss off Claudio.
This 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, when we started getting big names in this, we're like, oh man, this is going to be pretty predictable, yada, yada, yada. The stories that are going to come out of it, though, are going to be bigger than the tournament this year.
Yeah. 100%. I can't say the same about the women's, though.
I can't. I can't. I can't predict a winner, though, right now for it.
I'm down to 2. I'm down to Chris, and I'm down to Mariah.
Okay.
They're either going to force the Mariah-Tony breakup, or Chris is
that's coming.
Leaving
that's
Willow
coming next week.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But Chris breaking up with Willow may catapult her into the title picture.
Which, it's about damn time.
Agreed. 100%.
Alright, so that's wrestling slower but faster than we normally do, than we thought. So we're ready to truck because we have some amazing questions. I didn't read them, but I know they're amazing because Can Crusher Nation always brings amazing questions. I have mine, which are who are now the pillars, and Jenks has his. What top 5 WWE matches do you watch when you're bored? Let's fucking get this going. So we'll be right back.
What's going on, you guys? This is the CEO of Shane Taylor Promotions and the baddest of all time, Shane Taylor, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast.
You ask, we answer. It's segment 3. It's Ask Can Crushers. Mark the Mark, Sir Michael Jenks. It is time to answer the hard-hitting questions of the Can Crusher Wrestling fan base.
This is where the podcast definitely gets unhinged every quarter. We do this once a quarter, essentially, and it gets unhinged because you guys bring the greatest questions that our peanut brains think of.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, but Mark knows them before Jenks. So I always want to put this disclaimer out. They come in through cancrushers69@gmail.com. I put them up on the notepad that I have on my phone, and da-da-da-da-da. I just transfer them over I copy and paste. I throw them in a notepad, and that's it. I don't know them prior. A lot of them catch me off guard, and I make fun of your grammar sometimes. I understand you get excited when you're sending us something. You can proofread, though. I digress.
I'm appreciative of your grammar. I don't have to read it, so you send it any way you want to, guys.
We'll start with the fans first. We'll save ours till last. Touche, Jenks says as he takes a drink. So,
Let it chug. Oh, shit.
now he has foam. Just so you guys all know. This one comes from Brittany. Hey guys, with WWE going all over the world this year for PLEs. See, already, for pay-per-views. I'm Ron Burgundy over here.
You're fine, Brittany.
Who do you think has been the best crowd for chants and different fan interaction compared to the normal American interaction?
I think it's a runaway. It's France. France has... Are we talking all time or just this year?
And she said this year.
Okay, if we're talking just this year, it's France.
Yeah,
To me.
I'm going to throw... So where have they been? So let me they're going to say, listen, I'm probably agreeing with Jenks. Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Let's do 12 months. So Puerto Rico was
we'll count Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, France. They were in Scotland. Saudi,
yeah.
Right? Those are the four.
We
haven't made it to Berlin yet.
Haven't made it to Berlin yet, yeah.
And we've, essentially, she read our mind. Toronto, to us, is not internet. It is, on paper, international, but...
Money in the Bank was in London last year.
Okay.
So we throw London into that.
Okay. And again, we love Toronto. Toronto never listened to
do.
But all that. Yeah. Jenks answered it quick. If I have to rank them, you didn't ask this, by the way, Brittany, but I'm going to rank them. I would have to say that it goes France, my top three, France, Puerto Rico, and then Berlin. Or Scotland, I mean. Saudi doesn't do much for me. They don't really get into it. France was the first one to essentially call Americans out, singing every fucking thing.
I agree with that, and I agree with your list that you ranked them as, because Puerto Rico, they brought it, but I think France itself was the top of the line. They had soccer chants, they sang everybody's theme song, they were on it, they were singing for everybody under the sun.
I did like the Cody Rhodes.
That was good.
That was cool.
Phenomenal AJ in soccer chant.
Yeah.
In French. That was amazing. But man, something hits different when you hear voices for Randy echoing throughout an arena. And you pop Randy Orton. Yeah. Like, that's goosebump worthy at that point.
It is. It really, they tried to do it again when Randy essentially came out.
Yep. But
there's only one first, right?
Yeah.
So when you think of that, you now think of, was it Lyon? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, it was Lyon, France. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say Lion at first. It's definitely not Lion. I think, Brittany, it definitely, we say France.
I'm hoping
Hands down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hands down France. I'm hoping Berlin supersedes them, to be honest. Because I wanted to keep getting better and better every single time.
Want me to piss Can Crusher Nation off in America?
Yeah.
France superseded Chicago. And Chicago is the best city, I think, in America.
Chicago's the best wrestling city in America, but I agree. Now, something is to be said. It's been said before, but something is to be said. You don't get a lot of pay-per-views. You're going to have a lot more pent-up adrenaline, frustration and adrenaline to let it out. So, to that point,
But Chicago gets how many? AEW
Yeah.
goes for minimal
Minimal.
6 times a year.
Yeah. Plus the times WWE goes there probably 2-3 times a year. I will say this though, Chicago brings it every single time. So it's really two different things. It's the US and it's that, but I agree, Chicago's gotta bring it the next time. Tonight as we're recording, tomorrow, it would have been yesterday as you guys are listening to this.
SmackDown, you're trying to say SmackDown is in
SmackDown's
Chicago?
in Chicago tonight. So, because CM Punk's going to be there.
Pay-per-views and TV different. Also, in my head, would they do? Yeah, I mean, they can bring it. They can. But there's more energy at a pay-per-view than it is a TV show.
Fair. But I will say, when they've done the two shows, so you have a SmackDown and then the pay-per-view the following night in Lyon, France, or in Scotland, they bring it both nights, and they bring it loud.
They do. That's a great question to start right off the bat.
I love it.
Brittany. This is from Jake from Can Crushers Nation. So this guy's been around a while. God,
Hey, Jake.
probably hates me now. Hi, guys. Keep up the great work. I am really enjoying your inclusive podcast. Shout out. Keep up the love, gentlemen.
Always.
We get what
Yep.
you're saying. Still Pride Month, so we support that. We love that. My question is, who do you believe were the best and worst king and queen, meaning what they did for the crown to help them? Meaning, now I'm putting Mark's spin on it.
Yeah.
Meaning, listen, all-time worst for me is fucking Mabel. I would think.
No. I'm going to go Xavier. I get it was a very, cool moment because Xavier was waiting for it his entire life to be King of the Ring.
But injuries for him.
But no, it's what they never had a plan for him to do anything with that.
Touche.
Mabel, yeah, he wasn't great. He's the second one.
He got a title shot, though.
He got it. That's where I'm going. He got the title shot, though. So Mabel, to me, he gets that advantage because he got a title shot.
Let's stay with the men. Billy Gunn won it once, didn't he?
Well, yeah, Billy Gunn then ran into a buzzsaw that's called The Rock.
Yeah.
Because that was the same. They put him in a program with The Rock to kind of push it over more, and he just got obliterated. Gunn was terrible.
Like, I won't touch Harley, Macho, Booker. I think they're all in the upper echelons. The number one for me, it's got to be Stone Cold. I mean, I love Bret. I love
the best to win it, Stone Cold, because of what it meant and what the moment.
Well, actually, the ringmaster won it. Let's put it that way. And then the following night, he's essentially Stone Cold because
it was the turning point. It was literally the Attitude Era was born at that point.
Yeah. So that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I like your Xavier more just because of the title shot. I really do. There was some putrid ones. Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn was bad. Corbin won it at one point.
Wait,
King
what?
Yeah, he won it. He was King Corbin.
Before
he became before he became bum ass Corbin.
I remember. I'm all right with that.
Outside of that, I liked Regal.
Yeah,
good King of the Ring.
That fits.
100% fits. I pulled up the list. There's not really any that say, nah, this sucks. Outside of, I think it's Xavier, Gunn, and Mabel. To be quite frank, unless you want me to list them all out. But
no, you don't have to list them all.
Yeah.
No, because I know, like, it was just a tournament when Morocco won it. Harley Race was pseudo-handed it when he came over. Haku's was good. Then you get into Savage and you get into, ones like that. Keeping it.
He won it at one point, yeah.
But that fits too.
I'm not saying it doesn't, yeah.
Actually, I'll switch. I think Woods because they didn't know what the hell to do with.
I don't think they just had a plan on in general. I think they just were fucking like, okay, there you go.
Because we all bitched and moaned that we wanted it back.
Exactly, and Xavier pushed enough for it to get brought back.
For transitioning to the women, there's only been a couple.
Yeah, and
I don't know if I want to say a worse because we have nothing really to build it off of.
It's Vega and Nia, I think, right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Vega was the first to so we could do something with it at least. Yeah. And I won't bash her first. Nia's gonna get a championship out of it, we both think.
It's in the middle of after she won it. I don't think we have enough data.
Yeah.
As lame as that sounds, I don't think we have enough data to say there's a worse Queen of the Ring.
Or there's a best, essentially.
Exactly. Because we don't know what Nia's going to do with it. Now, if we're 5 deep, okay, let's talk. But we're not there yet. They're still new to making this right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right. Jake from Can Crushers, thank you. This one's from William. Hi, guys. Keep crushing it. Ha, ha, ha. Pun intended. Jesus. I should proofread some of these.
I'm a fan, William. Thank you.
For puns like that. I know we just had the WWE draft. Oh, so this one must have been sent in a while ago. We had the WWE draft. But do you think we get any surprises call up from NXT after SummerSlam?
I don't know if it'd be a surprise, but I think Trick.
That's where my head instantly went.
I think that's the biggest one right now that could be called up. The women's side of the house, maybe Roxy.
Roxy's been at a Rumble.
Yeah.
I don't think, because these two always are in my mind, but I don't think their story's ever done down in NXT. Like, Gigi and JC, they've been down there long enough that I don't think it's a surprise anymore if they would walk through the WWE door at any point.
I would agree.
Thea's young, yet I don't think Thea fits the WWE roster. Yeah, and everybody, she's fucking tattooed on my arm. I love her. But I don't think she's out of that Chase U yet, even though she's in and out of it.
She's not, and until she outgrows that, it's not going to happen. She's not where she needs to be right now. I think right now, for her to make the leap, she has to win the NXT Women's title.
Yeah. Yeah. Gigi and JC don't. They just need, I mean, they've all had 8 titles.
Yeah.
But they're ready at any point. Roxy at any point. For the men, I really think it's trick or bust. Like nobody else.
Nobody else is there. By the way, has Ethan Page signed? Because he's just everywhere now.
Right. He's got it. He
has to have been signed at some point, I would assume.
Yeah.
But I agree.
But it's WWE. The draft, as William says, we just had the draft essentially. The draft doesn't mean anything. The draft was just solidifying where people were staying this year.
Yeah.
So, a surprise here or there, yeah, it could work out.
But I will say this. This is a great question, William, but don't be surprised if under this new regime people stay until the next draft.
Yeah.
Because to me, I could see them making Trick the number 1 draft pick or a first round draft pick to kind of people get excited, get hyped up. Because they did that this year, I think with Carmelo. Could be wrong there.
Now, as soon as you were going to say that, that builds in for Trick Carmelo to carry over their feud via the draft pick from year 1 to year 2, or you know what I mean?
Yep, 100%. It kind of it helps push that onto the main roster and get that building it up, essentially. And they'll pull that history for the most
Trick's
part.
only solo right now for, the last, 6 months?
Yeah, exactly. They're going to give Trick a decent run with it.
Yeah. William, great. This one's from Jerry. He already says thanks again, so he's definitely wrote in before. Great job, guys. Thanks for taking my question. Oh, I just read some of this. If you could bring back a great mind in pro wrestling, all caps, by the way, without all the baggage and politics, who would you bring back to help AEW? Jim Cornette, Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, or Vince McMahon? I have thought long and hard about this. Thanks, Jerry, is what he says.
Okay, can you give me that list one more time? So Bischoff, Cornette,
Russo, Cornette, or Vince McMahon to AEW. And again, all caps, it says without baggage and politics. So we don't need to go down that path, but anybody that listens to wrestling podcasts knows everything. So they're all saints, all right? They're all fucking upstanding human beings with the great minds that they have.
I hate to say the one I have. Who do you got?
Well, this is actually, of these four, this is kind of easy for me, honestly.
I hate to say it, man.
To me, Vince already built a conglomerate, and it's yes, it would be McMahon for me.
I agree. It's McMahon, and not taking into politics or whatever. Let's look at the personalities and resumes, because we didn't take out resumes on this.
Right.
Bischoff, build up WCW, great. Ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
Allegedly. If you're watching shows.
I was just going to say, let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched just the first three Who Killed WCW,
yeah.
All fucking points are pointing at one person.
Yeah, it's pointing big time at one person. So.
And he decided to go on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, spoilers. Bringing it back, ran WCW down. Went to TNA. Essentially changed what that was and killed that to a point. Based on my opinion.
Right.
Russo. He tanked it too. I mean, he was the culmination of everything for WCW at that point.
He was a lesser Bischoff.
He was. He was somebody that lied to get to where he was and did what Bischoff did. Cornette is too far stuck in the past to make a difference in today's game. He can't get over his own thought process. And that's not diving into politics and that. That's just his mindset he's presented. He's very much an old school wrestling mind, which is great for 1 to 2 matches and maybe a psychology of a match, but it's not great for producing good TV or putting things out there that wrestling fans want to see. Vince, right, wrong, or indifferent, kind of was still putting out somewhat good television.
Yeah. There was some I'm going to go backwards from the way Jenks did it, but exactly. There were some stinkers with Vince that were like, months that were like, holy fuck. But then he threw shit on a wall and it came up to be a cheesecake, which we both love. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, he still has something. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, whatever, we're taking past away, essentially. Vince has built a conglomerate. Watch Who Killed WCW. Bischoff and Russo are just pissing on each other. That should explain the whole thing within itself. Cornette is a great mind. And I agree with what you said. He's kind of still stuck in the past. I'm going to spin it that probably get some hate. He had a chance to do something with Smoky Mountain. I understand maybe the funds weren't there, this, that, or the other thing. Could have built it up. We could be talking about how Vince had to buy Smoky Mountain when it was in a major heyday or something like that. So he had that. Did he not have the roster? We could play the whole games like this. If anybody wants to chime in on this again next week, please. We'll shoot it back, and I'd love to maybe hear some more that we'll dive more. These are Johnny on the spot answers, by the way, so give us some moments to dive into this as well. But Cornette had an opportunity with Smoky Mountain. Mm-hmm. On a lesser degree, but could have built it up. He didn't. It stayed territorial.
Yep. Let's spin this bit because we've answered the question. Vince,
right?
Vince, we would take
Vince.
Spin this a bit. If I'm taking, let's take the best versions of these guys. So I'm talking Vince McMahon, 80s. We'll take it right through 2008, 9.
Okay.
Bischoff, 94 to 98.
It's 83 weeks with him.
The 83 weeks that he produced, you take that. Cornette, Smoky Mountain. We'll say Smoky Mountain for Cornette. Russo, Attitude Era writing, Cornette. Or Russo, basically.
Yeah, but let me say this as a whole caveat. That's under Vince.
That is under Vince. So that eliminates Russo. So
Russo's gone.
Yeah, Russo's gone because he hasn't produced anything outside of that. Who would you take out of those three?
I'm taking Vince because of what he done for the conglomerate, between the marketing to turning everybody over and all of this. Second, I would take Bischoff second. If we're saying we threw Vince out. If we're throwing Vince McMahon out of this and we're taking either Cornette, Bischoff, or listen, this is down to if we don't take Vince McMahon and Russo's thrown out because he's never done anything without somebody's help. Are you taking Cornette or Bischoff? That's the question that we fucking spun this into, right?
Exactly. I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm taking Bischoff over Vince. I'm taking 83-week Eric Bischoff over Vince McMahon for 20 years. Because he legitimately turned the business on its head for 2+ years. A year plus, whatever it is.
83.
Go math your own math for that, 83 weeks. For 83 weeks, he turned the business on its head and pushed Vince McMahon to the absolute limit that he thought he was going to lose his company because of the revolutionary TV that he did. If we're taking out politics and we're taking all that backstage bullshit, contracts don't matter at this point. 83-week Eric Bischoff is a powerhouse that could really just turn AEW into an absolute juggernaut against WWE.
Metamorphosize?
I was trying to say that, but I gave up on it real quick because it was not going to come out right. But I think it was such a juggernaut that I think it literally is the best option on the table at that point.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I get yours. Yeah.
We weren't on the same question.
Right.
Because we said Vince won this as a whole that Jerry asked us.
Yeah, as Vince won it. Yep.
So we take him out of the conglomerate.
Yep.
Russo's taken out because he hasn't done anything by himself, but fail.
Yeah.
So now we're down to the meat and potatoes of, are we taking Cornette to do it or are we taking Bischoff to do it? And what you just said explained I would take Bischoff the same as you would over. So
let's still, because the question had Vince in it, you would still take Vince over Bischoff, right? At their best.
I would.
I'm going to make it clear I'd still take Bischoff over Vince at the absolute best without the shenanigans backstage.
So, yeah, without the dirtiness of whatever happened.
Yeah,
so
and that's
Jerry
contracts.
Jerry, to answer your question, I have McMahon, he has Bischoff.
There you
go. Help AEW.
Yep.
That's a great fucking question.
I love that question. Great
That's
question.
what I want. Can Crusher Nation. That's what I want.
Make us think.
Yeah. This one's from Dylan from New Jersey. I'm sure you guys will talk about this, but if not, here's my question. Oh, very relevant, very new. Who will the Wyatt Sick feud with first, and how long before one of them get a title? You can answer all of it. I don't want them around titles for fucking years. They don't need them.
Agreed.
They are... A title with these guys is a waste of helping somebody else that needs a title.
Agreed.
Insignificant.
They never need a title.
No. They are not a title group.
The Wyatt family wasn't a title group at that point. Who would they feud with first? I guess the question becomes... I don't think it's a question. They're just an entity. So they could fight heel, babyface, would not matter.
If this was AEW, I mean, it's not, but this is stuck in my head. This would be the Wyatt Sick against Kenny, against MJF, against Tony Khan himself, in a loser dies on pay-per-view, whatever. Like, it would have to be something like that. Like, I think it's going to be, so revert back to WWE, it's everybody to me. Like, I don't think Carmella comes back. I think she's in line to get attacked. Tegan Knox comes back. It doesn't matter. I don't think there's a pseudo feud either for a while. I think it's just we're laying waste to people.
Well, I think to that point they basically laid that out with everybody they attacked backstage on Monday, hijacking Pat McAfee's show Thursday, Friday. They've laid that out, that it's their attacking is not going to discriminate whatsoever. It's going to be against everyone, everywhere. Your mother, your grandfather, your dog, whatever they want, they will attack. And that, I think, makes it better because it's unpredictable.
Wins and losses don't mean shit with these guys. They could lose the pseudo match in 3 seconds, beating the fastest win record ever. It's what happens prior and after that continues their storyline. I'm not saying they're going to come out and win. I don't know if I want to see them have a match, honestly, right now.
I don't think they have a match for months.
Right.
And when they do, they don't lose for years. Every 3 months, they have a match.
Yeah, this is a shtick. This isn't, and I mean shtick in a good way with these guys, not the one we make shtick. This is a production. This is a shtick. This is a legacy that, they don't fuck with.
The aura is there that they understand that they will be the most protected thing in WWE. And when they attack or when they come for someone, they mean it.
This isn't a knock, but I'm going to say Rowan and Loomis are a tag team. You're not going to see them, and if they do, if Rowan and Loomis are a tag team and they lose to the Creed brothers next week, you've killed this.
Yeah.
Instantly.
100%. They can't lose, but they also can't be... They also need to have time to exist.
Yeah.
Before they become something in the ring.
As that existence starts, and they do have we just said that they're not going to have a feud, but they have a feud, sort of, kind of, you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
It can't be against Private Party. I mean, not Private Party, the Profits. It can't be against the Creeds. And there's no disrespect to any of these tag teams, what I'm saying. It instantly has to be, we're killing the Bloodline.
Yeah.
We're dismembering Cody. This is only about the pecking order.
That's exactly it. But is it WWE's pecking order, or is it the Wyatt Six pecking order?
Well, yeah.
As weird as it sounds, I know it sounds smart-assy, but what I mean by that is there's a definite hit list that they will follow. I mean, you don't go and say you lied. You don't go and call out Chad Gable in your promo vignettes that you call out. You just don't do that. Everything has a meaning, and this is something Triple H has tried to establish with the fans. Every segment, whether it's in the foreground or the background, whether it's a match, whether it's a promo, every segment has a meaning. You can dismiss the Wyatt Six stuff, QR codes all you want, but you have to watch them because they have meaning behind them, and I think that's the aura that they have portrayed and built up. Leave Bray out of the equation. If this was a mysterious group that just came out of nowhere and did this, I think we'd all be freaking out thinking, what the fuck did we just watch? What the fuck are we witnessing, and who is this? It's get ready for the hate. This is what we felt with the Wyatt family before they made the main roster debut.
Yeah. Dylan. Gold star.
Great question.
Back-to-back gold stars, by the way. Everybody gets a gold star. We love questions. From New Jersey, by the way. I was in New Jersey one time for Trenton. I've been in New Jersey a couple times, but I spent a couple days in Trenton. This one's from Rich. Thank you for always shouting out my hometown. Oh, God. Thank you for always shouting out my hometown of Council Bluffs.
Yeah, Rich.
Yes, Mark, there's an S at the end of it.
I like Rich now. Love you, Rich.
I now live in St. Cloud, Minnesota, but still have family at Council Bluffs. And you put the S as capital letters, by the way. Keep up the great work and remember the S. My question is, of course you have a question now, you son of a bitch. Number 2, by the way, can Council Bluffs take over Toronto this year? I guess we'll have to find out at the end of the year. My question is, do you think some of the old gimmick matches could work anymore? Example, something like on a pole, coal miner's glove match, blindfold match. You get it.
Has the blindfold...
Rick hates me.
Yeah, well, you gotta pronounce his town right, man. I don't know what to tell you. Has a blindfold match ever been good?
Sorry, I just took a drink. No. No. Let's throw that one out.
Yeah.
Something on a pole or a coal miner's glove match. Maybe?
I think
it's
go ahead.
Part of the story, it just doesn't become. If it's a character's story from, like, Iron Mike Sharp and his fucking brace forever.
As long as it's not Judy Bagwell on a pole, I think we're fine. Like, pole matches, I think, make sense, like a contract on a pole. Money in the Bank is essentially a contract on a pole match, except it's a ladder. They throw it as a ladder match. That's essentially what it is. So I think on a pole matches, they theoretically can work as long as it's not goofy-ass shit or a person on the pole. Or on a forklift, whatever the fuck she was on at that point.
She was on a forklift.
On a pallet on a forklift. Yeah.
Yeah. Coal miner's glove match. Again, it's got to be right from. Trick Williams is stuck in my head now, but Trick Williams makes the ascend from NXT to WWE whenever, okay? We're using him because I'm stuck with him. Prior to him leaving NXT and dropping the title, there's got to be a hint of he's got a glove or something, or Nux, or something like that. He brings it up to the big roster. That's the way he's winning matches for a while. Have it be somebody says that he's doing this, refs don't see it, something like that for a while. But if he loses that match then, he then loses his pseudo gimmick.
Yeah.
But if he's in that match, coal miner's glove match again, and he's the person that always uses it in the past, it goes the wayside. It could be a short story for some of these. And I don't know if Rich is throwing in like Indian strap matches, chain matches. Like those are always for me like end-all feud matches. I think he meant more gimmicky things like what he put up.
I think the only one that, to your bringing up Nux and all that, Logan Paul's the closest one with that gimmick right now. So is that an opportunity to put that on a poll? Possibly. I can't, for the life of me, think of many gimmick matches that we don't see anymore. That the only one I'll throw this one out there because it's a classic, but it's only been associated with Undertaker and Kane. The casket match itself kind of has gone to the wayside as that old school gimmicky match that hasn't been around for a while.
Well,
Wyatt Six can bring that back without an issue. Yeah, AEW has a coffin match, but if I look at WWE right now, that casket match hasn't been seen in 10, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be a gimmicky match that would fit the group.
Or a Buried Alive match, because now that you said that.
Buried Alive, that's a good one too. It would make sense for that group.
Good question, Rich.
Yep.
From St. Cloud, Minnesota, that used to live in Council Bluffs.
By way of Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Wow, why?
I was trying to go announcer, but yeah.
I know it worked. I
don't think it did.
Somebody always comes at me because I'm an idiot, and I love it. Hey, by the way, speaking of somebody coming at me, if you haven't listened to last Wednesday's Spotlight, my God, I was called a bad dad, a worthless human being. Bam Bam Baker just gave it to me. If you like hearing Mark just castrated on his own podcast, you'll like that Spotlight.
Castrated?
Yeah, he just fucking ripped me a new one. This is from Jeff from Altoona, so he's kind of a hometown boy. Please dig a little deeper and tell me, what is the point of NXT working with TNA? Why would this be in their main show and not on Why would this be in their main show and not on developmental TV? That second part of the question, I don't know what you mean.
Well, NXT is developmental TV for
right.
WWE, so I think that's all in one. So that's why it's on the main show. What are you thinking?
See, I'm trying to question what he's questioning. For TNA to have NXT stars to go over, it works. But it also works the flip side, too, in my mind, because, again, we talk about Joe Hendry. We talk about, the Hardys are now back. Yep. Or we talk about Jordan Grace enough when things are going on that they're noteworthy people. I think it's more that this is definitely helping my eyes. This is definitely helping TNA in my eyes than it's helping NXT.
Fair. 100%.
Because of the viewerships and that.
Well, yeah, 100%. But I think for both, I think for TNA, they have recognized this as to Mark's point, it gets more eyes on them, but it's a great working relationship. We now get to put our talent in WWE for them to say, let's send them a bonus, let's send somebody down there, but it also gets the exposure of, oh man, I really like what Jordynne Grace does in the ring. Let me go to TNA and find out, and let me watch more of her. Or Joe Hendry. Oh, this is where this guy comes from. Now he's in NXT. Maybe I follow him down and watch what he's doing in TNA. Same for Kazarian. Same for all these people that have made the jump. It's all about, I'm going to break it down like this. It's all about the marketing. This is a great marketing opportunity for both companies. From a TNA perspective, it's getting our talent on a national brand, on a national channel to say, okay, great. Now follow them to wherever they are at now. I think it's Access, or somewhere, something like that.
Most people are probably watching it on Twitch. Honest.
On Twitch, yeah, true. On Twitch or whatever it is, you're tracking your eyes to that. For NXT, WWE NXT, this is showing that they're willing to work with other companies, even within the continental United States.
Right.
This is why you see the All Japan Pro Wrestling happening out there. At some point, the working agreement with New Japan and AEW is going to come to a point where they need to kind of negotiate. You don't think Trips wants to go right into New Japan and say, hey, we'll work with you. I'll send you AJ, Seth, whoever I need to. Send me Umago, or I'm sorry, I pronounced his name wrong, but shoot up, whatever. Send me talent, right? I think that is where WWE is using this relationship as for them. They're open to business, and they're willing to work with a lot of the companies, not all, but a lot of the companies out there.
I know we touched on this a little bit, probably like last week or something like this. New Japan is the one winning out of all of this. Just throwing that out.
Yeah.
They have AEW, they have Mox, they have this, they have that, they have everybody. Say there is, because we love fantasy booking every once in a while, say there's a 6-month window where AEW is still locked in, but New Japan says we're going to start something, and we're locking in as well WWE.
Yeah.
And the New Japan champion would happen to be, I don't know, some guy named John Moxley. But Trips is like, oh, no, I could send this guy that I know is named Seth Rollins over to challenge for that. New Japan just gets trillions of buys because we're getting John Moxley against Seth Rollins for the New Japan title. They swerve, and they have their Money in the Bank or whatever contract. They both get fucking taken out by whomever.
Yeah.
Now you're just like, holy shit, that guy of whomever just killed Moxley and Rollins. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
I know
it's all about the exposure.
It really is. It 100%. Jeff, it's marketing.
It's marketing and exposure 101.
Yeah. We talked about Andrew. I'm really mad that he didn't get to do anything in NXT.
Hendry?
Yeah.
I am, but also at the same time, they let him talk. And I think that's what we need to take away. That's more important. Also, Joe Hendry to NXT year, whenever this contract's up, he fucking ate that spotlight up and threw it away.
Tony had him in ROH, by the way.
That's true. And he missed out big time.
Jeff, great question. Hey guys, I'm excited to hear what the special is going to be when your football game is released in July.
We're excited to find that out too.
Yeah, that'll come the week of. I don't know. We have topics. We just haven't talked about any of it. This is from Cole, by the way. So, Cole, you're probably going to be playing football too. However, my question is, this time around, if you personally could build a wrestler using others' skills, tell me who it would be. Technical, speed, athleticism, power, and mic skills. So he wants us to build a wrestler with those, making a 5-tool player, essentially.
Okay. Technical, speed, power, mic.
Athleticism.
Okay.
Why don't we do a topic? Like, we'll say technical, we'll both give one. We'll do speed, we'll both give one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Instead of rattling them all off, so we can bounce off of each other. Go first, me, because I want to. I want Owen's technical.
Well, I'm taking his brother Brett, so that works.
Oh yeah,
like
good.
That.
And we're not allowed overlapping.
Well, I was taking Brett anyways, so I like. That's a nice play there. We got brother versus brother on that one, so that worked.
Okay.
You go
speed first.
I'm taking Braun Breaker speed right now.
You're all into this 27 miles an hour thing, aren't you? Or whatever fuck they say he runs.
Fucking runs fast and he's moving rings. I'm gonna be all in for it. That's for fucking sure. Jesus Christ.
Athleticism's already stuck in my head, and I'm gonna eat crow on it. Speed, I don't know. I don't know if I really. Braun's a good one. It really is. You took him off the board. I don't know if I watch people's speed because I don't care. So I'm looking for somebody that can just do something. You know what? My caveat, our podcast, I'll take the speed of Randy Orton because he can hit the fucking RKO out anywhere.
I don't mind that. I
That's
like that.
That's legal?
That's legal. Why wouldn't it be legal? I like that. That makes sense.
Because it doesn't need to be quick. This is going to sound stupid. Quickness speed. Because you took quickness speed with Braun.
I did.
I took alert speed with Randy.
I want to add one category to this list.
Oh, all right. Well, Cole's going to be happy. Sure.
I'll wait till the end. I'll explain at the end. Let's go through Cole's list and then I'll add one.
Okay. Athleticism. I'll go first.
Yeah, you got to because I'm drawing blanks on athleticism. I'm trying to think of one over here.
I fucking shit on this guy weekly. Weekly I shit on this guy. But he's one of the greatest. I just need him to calm down a little bit. It definitely is Ricochet.
I would take Prime AJ Styles on that one. I like the Ricochet pick because I would agree. Ricochet, athleticism-wise, untouched.
Yeah. He can do things in the ring. Yeah. I was between Ricochet or Pac, actually, were my 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, Pac. Pac is good. Pac's a good one, too.
But I like
I'll stick Prime AJ.
TNA AJ when he flips
TNA, yep. That early 2000s, 2010 AJ was unmatched.
Okay. I should probably be writing mine down.
I wouldn't mind now, so I can keep track.
Right? My pen's not working. All right. I have Owen, I have Randy, and I have Rico.
The Rico?
The Rico Suave is who I have.
Rico from 2003?
You have Brett, you have Braun,
and Prime AJ.
And AJ. I'm not writing down primes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is prime. All right. Yeah. Power.
I'm going to go Strowman.
You love collecting bronze.
I do like Corral. I'm a bronze player, so.
I'm taking Ken Patera.
Oh, I like that dig. I like that. Bring out of the bag. No. I'm not saying that. I was trying to say I like that deep dig, deep dive into the history. I like that a lot.
I like Ken Patera. Listen, you know why I went Ken Patera? Because when I think of strength, I think of him. You know, his back's up against the wall. He's holding the car with clearly the front brakes on, and he's just holding it back with his legs.
Well, I went Braun flipping ambulances and all that. Whether you believe it or not, he flipped ambulances and shit. It was impressive. I never saw anything either. I would say honorable mention, Mark Henry.
Oh, if you really want to go honorable mention, then the Iron Sheik.
Oh, agreed. Because it's not easy to whip those fucking things around. Oh. Yeah. I don't know what those are called, so I'm not going to try to butcher any names. But whipping those things around, I love the video of Ultimate Warrior trying to do it and can't fucking do it. And Sheik just comes up and just fucking starts wailing him around. Yeah. It's amazing. Anyways.
So that's power. Mike skills. I think we are probably going to be on some of the same page here. I'm going to give you a list.
Are you giving a list?
Oh, I could. And then I'll give you my one.
Okay.
I could go Savage. I could go MJF. I could go Piper. I could go Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm going Piper.
Going Piper? That's fair.
Nothing against MJF. MJF, is that who you're going?
I'm going MJF. I am, yeah.
Okay. Nothing against MJF. I think he's today's Piper. He's everything. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a connection with Piper.
That's fair.
So
no, that's fair. And MJF, to me, he literally has shown it for the past couple weeks, even though the ratings haven't shown it. He's putting butts in seats in the arena. People are going to the shows to see him.
If he's not there Wednesday, I'm going to be so fucked off.
It's going to be funny. He's not going to be there. It's going to be like a videotape package. I don't show up in Buffalo. I'm here in Long Island, New York.
What's your caveat one that you got? All right, so to break down Cole's question, we had to build a wrestler using things. I took Owen, Randy Orton, Ricochet, Ken Patera, and Roddy Piper.
And I took Brett, going in order, Brett, Braun Breaker, AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, MJF. My caveat, in-ring IQ or mental IQ. We know the technical side. You can technically wrestle, but what's your IQ in the ring? Which I created because I wanted to throw Bryan Danielson in there because I think his in-ring IQ is some of the elite that we've seen.
I'll go, and everybody's going to laugh, but I'll go revert back to 2000 and Mom was still alive. So it was 17, 18. Sure. When I went to OVW and I sat in an Al Snow training class.
I get that.
Unbelievable. I'm taking Al Snow.
It's amazing how much the guys you would think as like that lower middle card in that have the best in-ring IQ and can explain it the best.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah. Didn't have that moment for Al. This champion, that champion, the hardcore champion. He had those. Right. But he had everything. He just didn't get the marketability or whatever.
Exactly.
Danielson's completely on a different level.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But to that point, I like the outside pick of Al Snow.
Good. Cole, we hope we did you good, and we'll let you know. Maybe in a week or two we'll hash out what special it's going to be, because we have to do homework for it as well, because of the list you guys gave us about a year and a half ago. But, yeah, we will be playing football, though. We will be. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Holy moly, this is a long one. This is from Thomas, by the way. Hi, Mark and Mike. I think it's the first person who's ever said our real names, by the way. Not that we have fake names, but yeah. Hi, Mark and Mike. Thank you for doing this episode. I love the idea of fans sending in questions. I've been listening from April, and you guys really entertain me. I enjoy your banter and predictions on your weekly show, and your spotlights are very interesting hearing wrestlers from all over. Oh, well, I love this guy. I have not had time to find out what you guys did in wrestling or how you started podcasting. Can you give me a bit of a rundown? Also, my question is, who do you think in NXT will be the next face of WWE for both genders? He gives us love, and then he wants to know I'm saying this, not me. Then he wants to know our past, and then who is the next two faces of WWE with both genders?
Yeah.
That's kind of the pillar question. Pseudo.
It's playing into it. Yeah.
Playing into it.
Yep.
So, quickly, I started this podcast 2018 on the back of a garbage truck. Me and a coworker talked all the time. We said, let's just do this. I took money out. Wife was going to kill me because I spent so much to get this stuff, yada, yada, yada. We continued. We ran into promoters all around. They love it. They actually send wrestlers over. That's essentially Al Snow, essentially started the spotlights. That co-host went because he started a family, got a couple more in, and they did their own thing. Some of them are taking time off on professional wrestling. Jenks has been a homeboy of mine for, 25, 30 years now because we worked in minor league baseball together, and it just continues to grow to get fans like you in. Real way back, I started watching wrestling with my grandfather. I remember things, but anytime anybody says, hey, first match that you can really deep dive into, it's the Hogan and Orndorff cage match when they both came off together is always one. But I have memories before that of wrestling, but the Hogan-Orndorff one kind of sits front lobe of my brain. Yeah, so that's my quick story.
Yeah, my quick story is Mark graciously allowed me to be on this podcast in 2021. JK. I had to audition for several months. No, just kidding. I had another podcast going with some other friends, infamous Moochie, which you heard on this podcast. And you'll see in your thumbnail. Yeah. Cody Hetrick, which you've heard over the time. We had a podcast at one point. Mark reached out and said, hey, do you want to come talk wrestling? I said, sure, why not? I'll throw my hat in the ring, and the rest has been history since 2021. From that, my love of professional wrestling, I grew up in a household with three sisters, a mom and a dad. Obviously, my dad worked nights. I was the only boy, so I saw wrestling one night and was like, that looks cool. My grandpa had a lot of the wrestling toys and whatnot, so I always played with those. And fast forward, the love festered from there, and then I was creating tapes. I was watching tapes. I was watching stuff on YouTube when YouTube became a thing, of reigniting that passion that I had for the older stuff. If I had to pick a match that kind of defined, that I remember drawing myself into, and it's not going to be one, I've spoke highly of this match before, and it's not one that is generally thought of in any discussion. It was Sting and Vader for the international title at Slamboree 94. That match I always remember watching and loving and falling more and more into anything wrestling related, WCW, WWE. That was the match that really encapsulated me from everything Vader was doing to Sting countering Harley Race coming off with the headbutt, etc., etc. There's a lot going on that pay-per-view, but I think that one in general kind of was that thing that kind of was like, okay, we're hook, line, and sinkered into professional wrestling at that point in time.
Your second part of your question, I think you're going to have to wait till the Pillars question, which is coming.
It's coming. It's a little
we're not
bit
far away. But I think I think there is going to be an answer. And I know you said from NXT, and we do kind of pillars from WWE, but I think there might be some trickling over, and I'll leave it at that, for WWE to NXT.
Trickle it over.
Yeah. But Thomas, one very new listener, so thank you. Again, everybody in Can Crusher Nation, you want to continue to send questions in weekly, we'll answer a couple weekly, but we do love doing this, Ask Can Crushers, where it's essentially, this segment is already over an hour. We love devoting a whole show to Ask Can Crushers once a quarter. So
Yeah.
Send them in, cancrusher69@gmail.com, or, hey, use that phone number that may be going away if you guys don't use it.
Hint, hint. Not so subtly.
Slade from the 412 wants to know, okay, guys.
Wait, Slade?
Slade.
Oh, Slade. I thought Slade's still a pretty cool name, too. I was commenting on how cool that name is. Slade, pretty cool name. All right, go for it.
From the 412, so that's Pittsburgh.
That is Pitt.
Okay. Okay, guys, I've been sensing the non-love for AEW over here the last few weeks. Are you guys feeling it too? What do they need to do with all divisions to get us chatting again? This by no means is slander, but once again, it seems TK has put the women on the back burner. How can we help them? Because we all know he steals your ideas. That's a whole fucking podcast within itself, Slade.
Yeah, I would say it's not a TK problem with the women. I think this happens across every wrestling brand. They just don't get the time they should get dedicated to them to let them cook. The hate against TK and AEW comes from, I think it's the lack of what their vision is, because it seems like for pay-per-views and that, they get the vision 2 weeks out. And then we see the vision, it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. We're not seeing it over months of it like we were at the beginning, or we weren't seeing new, fresh things come into play. And I think that's where we're kind of off of it now, is we've gotten out of the honeymoon of AEW, and now we're in, this is a wrestling program every week. It's just failing to captivate.
Remember when Vince was fast-forwarding storylines?
Mm-hmm.
This is what Tony's doing right now, in my mind. Tony's fast-forwarding storylines. We don't get the meat and potato. Again, and this isn't because I'm just saying this. I think a lot is going to come out of storylines Wednesday in Buffalo. We know matches. We just don't know how we're getting there on matches.
Mm-hmm.
The stories right now in AEW aren't clicking like they are in WWE. The Bloodline. Continuing from 5 years ago. Nobody in the Bloodline from 5 years ago is in this Bloodline.
Mm-mm.
And it's still unfucking believable.
Yep.
The Wyatt Sick is just on another level. We're going to forget about the Bloodline. Possibly. Real soon. And I don't mean that mean. Even when they interject Caesar salad when he comes in. We don't. We're not going to care, because the sick is going to, we're all going to be down with the sickness. Hopefully that's a fucking shirt. I want it now.
That'd be nice.
Call Disturbed. Ask if you can work with Disturbed, Trips. As for AEW, again, just like Jenks said, the women across the board need more love. It's 2024. Fuck, it's almost 2025. Let's fast forward it.
Yeah.
I really want one of these two programs, because they have the best talent. WWE now has a whole nother roster of women.
Yeah.
Let's start a goddamn women's show. There's got to be a channel out there. Have it be whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to bring over the WWE women. We're going to throw it up on Thursdays. Let's do a trial run to see what they do on Thursdays for a while. It's more networking. It's more marketing. It's more this. It's more that. It's going to go. Yes, it's more hours that we have to watch wrestling. We're here. We're there for it. That's one across the board.
Yep.
Two, we both kind of said the same thing. Tony is fast-forwarding storylines. When we get to the pay-per-view, and he's doing it, like I said, both AEW shows are Saturday night's main event or Shotgun Saturday or Sunday Night Heat right now. Yes. They're fillers. Pay-per-views fucking perform all the time. I don't care what anybody says. They're always, if you don't spend the $50, $60, and you miss a AEW pay-per-view, you miss a lot.
You do. You do.
They just don't have enough of the meat and potatoes on their show.
I would agree, and I think it's because they've moved to monthly pay-per-views.
Exactly.
When you move to monthly pay-per-views, you lose the ability to develop a story. Case in point, NXT, when they were running every 3 months, every quarter they were running this, a special live event or whatever it was, it made sense. It was so good. We were salivating for the next NXT show for 4.5 years. 5 years, really, until NXT 2.0. We were salivating for that next NXT show because it was so far between.
It was only on the big fours, essentially.
It was only on the big fours. It made sense. It gave us something to look forward to, gave us time. But I think because they're succumbing to these
buy rates,
money, all of that, in your sponsorship and all of that stuff, they have to put on monthly pay-per-views. And it's like, it's killing what could be a very good storyline and product. Because you have to have these red flags that show up every single month that take away from the storyline progressing.
Yep. Great question, Slade. From the 412. But this one's from Jenny with an I. When the hell is the Doctor returning to AEW? There's so much for her to do with Tony, Mercedes, Thunder, the list can go on. Come on.
Yeah. We need a doctor. I don't know when.
We need a hater and we need a doctor.
Need a hater and need a doctor.
I mean, Jenny,
if we get a rebel, we know the doctor's coming.
Right. I mean, I don't know how to answer this because I feel your frustration, Jenny.
Yeah, I think we all do. It just doesn't make sense that we haven't gotten him back yet.
If they're not cleared, do the CM Punk stuff with them.
Yeah.
And out of AEW CM Punk stuff. I mean, what he's doing now, running in and let him just cause shit. Mm-hmm. Let him just talk. Mercedes talked for 6 months, and now she's clearly proving us wrong with what we said months ago.
Right.
But these are talkers.
Yeah.
These are shit stirrers. Let Britt do her dentist office again.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they're not relevant.
No. They'll be celebrated when they come back, but they're just not relevant now.
No. I don't. Jenny, I hate to say it like that, but that's what we got. I agree. We need it. A shot of the Doctor, pun intended, will do something for that women's division.
100%.
Thanks, Jenny. This is from Kurt. Oh. I'm pissed.
Oh, boy.
This is a question. It's always great when your questions start, I am pissed. I believe in Joe Hendry. I think we just touched on this. I know. I believe in Joe Hendry. What did they do in NXT this week was garbage. Improper use of words, but okay. I knew he was not going to win the Battle Royal. Why not tease him? Have him last till 5. Not the first one out. Crossovers are happening for decades. They don't have to last long. Oh, they don't last long. All right. completely different paragraphs. Mark's reading like a fourth grader right now. No disrespect to fourth graders. I'm just telling you where I am. So he's pissed first and forecast that Joe Hendry got thrown out number 1. He should have lasted longer. We both agree with that. So we'll throw that out the window. Crossovers have been happening for decades. They don't last long. What is WWE really getting out of this? Still getting the help they need. What is WWE really getting out of this? Still getting the help they need. Kurt. Okay, Kurt, sorry. We kind of, you can tell that I don't, I don't pre-screen the questions. Crossovers have been happening forever. Let me take it this way. The AEW, the NWA thing that happened in, I believe it was Chicago, everybody's title was on the line, nobody won. There wasn't a winner of a match, let alone a change of titles. So yes, they do happen, and I understand they don't last long. It used to be like a handshake for an event, or a handshake for a couple months or something like that. AEW and New Japan has probably been the longest lasting one that I can remember in a long time.
Oh, God, forever.
Yeah, and they're making it work.
It's like, they're making it work, but think of it this way. It's almost like your territories from the 80s and 90s, except it's at a global stage because we have the ability to get talent or willingness of talent to go to a Japan, go from Japan to the United States or to Australia or whatever it is. It's
his meat and potatoes is he's mad that Joe Hendry got thrown out first.
Yeah.
And we're
part of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of answered this. So Kurt, good question. If I would have screened, I would have said Kurt and whoever sent it 5 minutes ago. Derek from the Nation. What's up, man? I think you've heard.
What's up?
Gonna steal this from a video I saw on YouTube recently. I hope you guys haven't seen it. I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube anymore. What are a few moments in wrestling that made you question why you love the business? Hell, even cringe. Oh. I am talking storylines that are crap. I will toss out one that you guys can't use then. Anything blackface, and the list can go on. We have cringe moments each and every year. We go very cringe heavy into the Attitude Era. So his question in my mind is, what made us go, why the fuck am I still watching this? Essentially. Right?
Yeah.
Is that where you took this?
That's exactly it.
The blackface stuff, wrong on so many levels. We won't touch it after that.
100%.
Done. When Roddy did it to other people recently, see ya. Bye. Mine always will be the fucking hand. I
was thinking that fucking hand.
Even as a, what year was that? I was in probably high school.
It was like 99, 2000 type thing. Yeah.
Out of school then. That was in my first.
It was like late 2000.
My first group of call. Yeah. That shit. Like, they're all popping in my head right now. The making out with the corpse.
Yeah. That, I think the whole stupid Vince McMahon's illegitimate son storyline, I thought that was completely stupid. Twice. The
cutting off of Kai and Tai's member.
Well, yeah, the Val Venus thing.
Yeah.
That, oh my God, there's so many cringe moments in that just 2000 year. Mae Young at the Rumble deciding, let's let it all hang out for everybody. I gotta put this out there. He is a decent performer, but man, Eugene everything Eugene related.
Yeah.
Made me question a lot of things.
Yeah. The list could go on and on.
Yeah.
Those are the ones off the top of our head that when you get a question like this, you're like, whoa. And it's right. You're like, oh, man, this is wrestlers that come on the show. Sorry, this is where it turns to carny then, again. That it is a sideshow. We're watching it for the athleticism, the wrestler that we built. That's why we watch it. You throw this in because that's probably some people's favorite moments in wrestling.
Oh, 100%.
It's what you are looking for out of wrestling. But the one that happened last year, doing cocaine off of a stripper's ass on NWA.
Oh, yeah. That was a whole fucking thing. What? Yeah. Why do the minds go there?
Right.
We'll never know.
Wrestling is already teetering on that line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Who's the person that says, cocaine in the corner is great?
To push it over that line.
In this day and age.
Yeah.
I know the 90s or early 2000s are completely different from 30 years ago now. But still, hey, we're gonna give birth to a hand. That's always been.
That's fucking rough.
Yeah. Judy Bagwell.
I think
forklift.
Judy Bagwell. Anything. Oh, Oklahoma. That whole fucking thing. The list could go on and on and on.
We still come back.
And we still come back because
they're going to clean
9 times out of 10, it's not that.
They're going to clean it up next week.
Yeah.
Derek, great question. I did not see anything like this on YouTube, by the way. Just to throw that out.
I didn't either.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Uh-oh.
Marcy from Ohio. Okay, this one's for Mark. Jenks, you can answer too. But it'll get him going, for sure. Is there any band or singer that you would love to see do an entrance of wrestling?
Oh.
Bagpipes. I answered it early and often. There you go. Boom, done. That's a cop-out. Because it's really not a band. No! Not at all! I fucking hate when they sing their live shit. I was a mummer earlier in the year. I love the bagpipes. Maybe stuff like that because it's a spectacle then. I hated Joan Jett singing Bad Reputation. Anything that they usually do. Marcy, come on. You're right. This is for Mark to get me goated. I don't. I don't know. Billy Joel, one of my favorite performers, could come out. There's nothing that he's going to sing that's going to transition into wrestling. No. Maybe Nickelback, and now I'm going to get hated because I like Nickelback. If they would bring back the old Raw theme song, that I'd be all right with. But no, not at all.
I think the comedy of this segment was just there, so I'm going to let it live. I will say this. In the past, I've seen Rev Theory doing voices live, which I thought was great. I thought Bray Wyatt's entrance at WrestleMania 30 was fantastic and even better live than actually what it was recorded as. So I give those two props. Actually, those were both the same year. I give both of those props. I think those were two great live performances. Mark hates them, but you know what? I'll say this. Give me Final Countdown. Give me Europe Final Countdown at Wrestle Dream. Let's go.
This is no disrespect to people that send questions in because we love them all. But you can tell people that have been listening to the show forever because it's just fucking shots half the time.
Oh, yeah. 100% of the time.
How many more do we have? We have 2 more guest questions and then ours. So we'll quick it up. Rumor has, this is from Justin from Pennsylvania. Rumor has it that Shane O'Mac is coming to AEW. What are your thoughts on that? Can't believe you guys have not mentioned it in the last 2 weeks. Longtime listeners to the show, but not a friend. Justin from...
Damn, Justin. All right. You know what? Respect for the honesty. I'll sum up Shane McMahon going to AEW with a thumbs down and a... And that's
no.
little boy antics, but no, I can't see that. That's just not good.
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's going to happen. Listen, I did read some stuff over the last couple of weeks. He called JR. That doesn't mean he wants in AEW.
Yeah.
They're friends. But JR fucking slapped him in the ass when he was a baby.
Yeah. To that point, I mean, he could even contact fucking Edge, Adam Copeland, and say, man, I want to come do this thing. And Copeland's probably like, nah, bro, not today. This
isn't your cup of tea.
This is not you. This is not the company you know. Just walk away.
So I'm not your friend either, Justin, but longtime listener, we respect, we like. I don't think Shane's going to, he just doesn't fit in. Listen, I know I have Vince going to help Tony on one of the earlier questions, but
I just don't know why am I catching strays here?
I know, right? This poor guy, Sir Michael Jenks, does nothing.
I'm just a guy that talks wrestling. I don't know.
Oh, I love this guy already. Joseph from Michigan, go Tigers, is the way he ended it. I don't know what his question is yet.
That's pandering.
Hey, he listens. Kind of new to the podcasting world. I found you guys a few months ago. Great banter between great friends with crazy knowledge, but I personally always don't agree with your predictions. Good. That's what wrestling is about. Joseph, that's exactly what wrestling is about. I listened to your last Ask Can Crushers like Jenks told me to, and I didn't hear the answer to my question, so I'm going to ask it. If you could have watched one iconic match live and in person, what would it be? Or name a few. Joseph from Michigan, go Tigers.
Go Rays. Iconic match in history. You know what? I'm pulling Hogan Rock in Toronto. WrestleMania 18. Top of mind. I think that would have been the funnest one to see live.
Owen Brett.
Oh, yeah.
Razor Shawn. To experience the true 93,000 people to see Andre slammed for the first time ever.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania 3. My list could go on and on of iconic matches that I wish I could have seen. But those are three easily at the top of my head.
I do wish I saw Mankind and Undertaker. Hell in a Cell. I know.
Oh, it was pretty good.
I know. You saw it. Jealous of that fact still to this day. But I feel like seeing that in the crowd.
Even from heaven where I was sitting.
Yeah. That was something else.
Changed my life. All right. Can Crusher Nation, thank you for sending all those in. As Jenks said, his is the main event question of the show. I've known it for months now. Okay? So my question to us, essentially, and this is where we want some of your feedback. We always bring it around every quarter. Have the pillars changed across the board? Are we grouping, and this is a caveat, are we grouping them all together, Jenks, men and women, as only 4 pillars in each company?
Great question, because I don't know. Because I prepared a list for sets, but I'm prepared to bring that list down.
Well, I say that because I think one company does have pillars for women, and one doesn't right now.
I agree, because I struggled with one company. I made 4, but I struggled with it.
You go first on mine, and I'll go first on yours.
Okay, so we're doing...
I say we just name 4 in each.
Just name 4 total people. Okay, doesn't matter 2 or just whatever you think. Okay.
Or 4.
Okay. AEW. I'm going to take MJF, Ospreay, Swerve. This one's going to surprise, but I'm going to throw a woman in there. I'm going to throw Toni Storm in there right now as their 4th pillar, because she's legitimately keeping the women's division up and running.
Okay.
I think the other 3 I picked that we're not naming have an argument, but I'm going to throw Toni Storm in there.
My AEWs. We're good on 3. Exact.
The men?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Mine, MJF.
Okay.
Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love them, I don't know. I have a feeling. I think
Yeah, fair.
Be kicked off. Jack is back.
Jack's floating. Jack
Okay.
is floating in there. He was not in my 4 men that I picked.
Jack's on it for me.
Okay, fair enough.
And you're exactly right. It is Toni Storm.
Tony.
You notice who we didn't say. That's more what I want to talk about.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Big Money was not listed. Did you make your 4 women? I didn't make 4 women across the board, just to let you know.
My 4 women I made. All right, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Willow, Stat, Tony, Athena. I pulled out of ROH.
Mercedes isn't on the list, is what I'm getting to.
Mercedes not on the list. I will and I will say this because she is legitimately gone in 3 years when this contract is up.
Yep. She's back.
She's back in the cup. Yep.
Yep. Swerve. Me and you probably just inverted Swerve and Jack.
Yeah, I think I could see Jack coming in there. I will say Takeshita, I have flirting around there as well.
Yeah.
But Swerve and Jack, yeah.
We'll see. They both could be on it next month again. In 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. What's your WWE?
WWE right now. I can go 2 and 2 on this. I'm going to go Braun Breaker, Gunther, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that at all. Gunther and Braun. Gunther's the now, the Braun's in 2 years.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They have their number 1 already, and then they have their next in line.
The future, yep.
Bianca's the now. Rhea's the now. They don't have anybody knocking at the door. I love Liv.
They don't.
I love Lyra. There's a lot that I love because of I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Are they transcenders? That's not a word. But you guys all
get it.
You understand Can't Crush Your Talk.
Yep.
I don't think they're transcenders.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. I would say Jade is forced into the conversation based on how they booked her, but not really in the conversation right now.
Right. Again, maybe I'm going to be a dick. Maybe in 6 to 9 months we could talk about Jade. Definitely not the next one for me yet.
That's fair. That's fair.
So there's our pillars. We do
There
it every quarter. All right. Your question. Take it away.
All right. So, what are your top 5 WWE matches to watch when you're bored?
Oh, fuck. You did put the caveat on WWE.
I did. Don't worry. I also did this to myself, and I reread it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I said WWE. So, let's accept it. top 5 matches you'll watch when you're bored.
No particular order.
Go for it.
No particular order. They are in order of... No, they're not. My all-time favorite match. Instant. It's Steamboat Savage, WrestleMania 3. That could be... I could be crying and watch that match. I could be hanging in a corner, whatever. I could watch that match no matter what.
Okay.
I've made reference to this match already on the podcast. Brett and Owen, WrestleMania 10. The story, the struggle, the wrestling, the technical stuff. Okay? You're like, holy shit, Mark's going all wrestling. It changes right here. 1986. I'm going to be the dick. Starrcade. Between the whole fucking event, by the way.
What?
Between the Skywalker's match, the Indian strap match, the cage match, the First Blood with Flair and Nikita. That's probably one of my favorite all-time pay-per-views. Was it sloppy? There's a lot of moments. If we break it down and it's sloppy, but it was wrestling then. We didn't know that it was sloppy. It was just that.
Yeah.
If you're holding me to say one match out of it, it's the Skywalker match. I love watching them fucking fall to their demise. I do. Number 4, again, because I'm who I am. Any Royal Rumble. I watch any Royal Rumble on a bored day to keep me pacified.
Yeah.
And I have a tie at 5. Because that's just, Of course, you knew I'm going to add stupid shit. Britain Thunder, St. Patrick's Day, and or Sasha and Bayley from Brooklyn. So there is more technical wrestling.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. I'll throw this out there. Honorable mention for my list included trying to remember who it is. Tay, Anna Jay, Bunny, and Penelope. That street fight. Oh, yeah. That was something else.
What?
That was something else. I like your list. We matched on one, and I'm going to get that one out of the way right now. And it should come to no surprise to anybody. Bayley, Sasha, and Brooklyn.
Right.
I think that match blew me away from it. Just for some reason took me back to my childhood.
From the hype till the end.
The hype, the promo, the hype, the storyline that went right through it until the very end. It told the perfect story.
Yeah.
So that made the list. I did switch this back to WWE because I noticed it. I'm going to give I gave one AEW match. I have another AEW match. I'll circle back to at the end just to say I have it on the list. This one, Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21, was some of the best wrestling and clinic work I've ever seen. And I love that match. It's just a fun match to watch back and just watch what they do. We made reference to it when I threw that curveball of, man, could you imagine if like late 2000s Kurt Angle
right.
faced mid-90s Shawn Michaels. It's the closest we got to it with the two athletes. It was still a pretty fucking phenomenal match. Love it.
Look at Jenks foreshadowing, showing storytelling into Ask Can Crushers.
I know, right? Playing right into it. All right. I watch this every year on its anniversary. I have to, and we already mentioned it tonight, so we have to mention it again. It's Undertaker and Mankind in the Cell. That match, for some reason, has always lived and breathed in my mind, and it's something I just have to watch because it's some of the most amazing human testicular fortitude.
Stupidness.
You could say stupidness. It just amazes me every time watching it. Just how ridiculous it comes. I'm going to go with a little fun here for WWE. Pull one recently out I'm going to go Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville because it was just stupid fun.
Yeah. At Mania?
At Mania. Stupid fun. It's a fun match to watch when you're bored.
Yeah.
The final one I picked for WWE list, Orton versus Cactus Jack, hardcore match, Backlash, 04. Chef's kiss. Made Orton who he was.
Yeah.
It was Mick's probably last greatest match that he had, and it was fantastic.
Agreed.
Top to bottom.
What was your other AEW one?
My other AEW one was Omega Danielson.
Wow.
Grand Slam, 30 minutes, or whatever it was, time limit draw. Fantastic.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. We were pretty good. You only had one comedy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, only one comedy.
Which tells we like the wrestling part, or the brutality.
I think
I had more brutality.
You had some wrestling, you had some brutality. I had a mix of brutality, storytelling, and then just amazing stupidness. I will say, I did withdraw the Rumbles from it because I didn't want to do a Rumble match, because I'm like, that's always entertaining. You could, to your point, watch them all day
We
long.
both do. We both watch every Rumble every year.
I did have one Survivor Series match flirt with the list.
Really?
Yes. I always thought Team Authority versus Team Cena. Team Cena was a fantastically told match from start to finish.
Besides, I'll throw myself under the bus.
Yeah.
Besides the Rumble that I have in this, you know what links all of ours together?
What?
Amazing storytelling.
Yeah, that's true.
Every match, essentially, even me saying all of Starrcade 86.
Yeah.
An asshole. Everything was a major component of what was going on in said company when they had their match.
100%.
So if there's no story, there's no match. There is, but that's what's going to get you. And that's what all of wrestling needs more. And both of them are getting, AEW's not right now, but WWE is killing on storylines.
Agreed. The story makes the match. AEW has bits and pieces that are living up to it, but they're not fully developing stories because they don't know how to make it through there. WWE has figured that part out right now.
Yep. Once again, very long. It's Ask Can Crushers. That's what we do. So, thank you.
Yep.
We love you.
We do love you. We love the questions. Thank you again for all of that.
Listen, the first hour, whatever we did, is fun. We love doing our recaps.
Mm-hmm.
You guys send shit in like this. We're both smiling at each other right now.
Yeah,
we really are. You guys
so
can't do
good.
it. We're both like tickled kids. You make the show amazing and easy for us.
Agreed.
What do you have going on this week, sir?
Oh, man, this week, a whole lot of preparing, I guess, for the holidays coming up here soon. That's on the horizon here. Nothing too exciting this weekend, I think. And next week, honestly, I'm living a very quiet life, to be honest. So that's probably what's on the horizon.
Good.
How about you?
As everybody's listening to this, I'm at work, and then I'm in a parade, and Sunday I know she's not going to be listening to this, but it is a surprise birthday party for the English professor's mom that we're all going to show up. And then, it is what it is at work. I don't have anything planned. Just
That's nothing wrong with that.
Going Bengal hunting, probably. Or running from Bengals.
Honestly, I'm going to be a cowboy, probably, at some point.
Yeah.
And maybe claim my bounty. Who knows?
We're probably not going on the Oregon Trail.
Probably not.
Probably not. It just doesn't fit our schedule. We have 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, I know. Oh, by the way, did I say that I'm going to Dynamite Wednesday? That too.
You know, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear about that. I had no idea.
Again, thanks, guys. Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage cannot. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Whoop, whoop.